What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 94 of Wolfpack Wednesdays. DLO, you ever seen a magic trick? I got one for you. Too sweet, my little friend.
Caught that back here. Right back at you. Too sweet, my brother.
Too sweet. And you know what? We are back from a week off. We are back with a vengeance because, spring break for my daughters. Thought I'd take the week off, hang out with them, let them stay up late. Whiskey is back. The health kick. I don't want to say it's officially over, but I need it, man. It's been a rough week, to say the least. So I need tonight, hopefully as much as you guys out there need tonight, a break from the week, hang out with friends, and chill. Talk about the things we love. 1/6 scale figures, and we got a lot to talk about, eh?
I couldn't put it better myself, buddy. Honestly, there was so much stuff in that 1 week hiatus that just tells you how fast the hobby can go. It seemed like it was dry on news for the longest time ever, and then literally everything is dropping. So it sounds like we're back on track. Sounds like no more dry spell. We are officially into hot season for hot toys.
And speaking of hot, we got a first timer on the show tonight. Let's roll out the red carpet for our special guest.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome tonight's Wolfpack special guest. Making his way to the stream, a YouTube superstar and friend of the Jedi Knights Watch. Please welcome
One Adam 12. Welcome.
Oh, he was ready. I like that. I like that. Yes,
too
sweet
to you guys
Sweet.
and everyone in chat. Woo!
All right. He's bringing the energy.
Love
I
it.
like
Bring it, buddy.
All right.
Not only is Adam a longtime subscriber, channel member, thank you very much, my friend, but a good dude. And I gotta say, he's got really good taste in clothing. Look at that get up he's got. Look at us, OT for life. And this was not planned, by the way, because DLO would have been wearing something similar as well. So
I would. It's baseball season.
No sequel trilogy for me. Original trilogy.
There you go.
Man
I do
after
like
my
the
own
prequels
heart.
too. I do like the prequels.
Yes, prequels aren't bad. I can definitely watch those. Attack of the Clones, a little iffy, but I get it. I'm the old guy in the room, or I guess we're all getting to be the old guy in the room here, but
The old guard for sure.
we do our best.
It's a little iffy until they get to the Coliseum, and then when Mace Windu shows up, that's when the movie starts kicking in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good point.
Oh man, it is good to see you, my friend. This is our first time streaming together, so I'm excited. Can't wait to talk figures with you. I know you're a Star Wars fan. We got a lot of Star Wars tonight. We're gonna kick it off with a little bit of Marvel, and I feel a little bit bad because it's Daredevil, and I'm a little bit behind on the show, but nonetheless, it looks like a great figure. So we're gonna talk about that. I want to talk about Artisan as a whole with these guys. All three of us have our toe dipped in Artisan at least a little bit, but I want to know what we're thinking now as opposed to when. Has the perception changed from when Joker and Anakin were announced to now that we're starting to see these figures in hand? I want to know if it's still the cat's meow or if we've cooled off a little bit on that. So we're going to talk about that. Ahsoka from the Ahsoka line, that line continues to hit. I'm excited for that, but I need your guys' help with that too, because I'm not sure if I'm going to get that figure or not. So maybe you guys are feeling the same way out there. So we're going to chat about that too and much more. If you guys would be so kind, hit that like button, subscribe to all three of my friends' channels, and let us know you're watching. Say hi, and happy Wednesday to you all. I want to know, though, before we get into the chat, what you guys got cooking hobby-wise. Anything incoming, anything catching your eye, anything new to the collection. We'll start with our special guest first here, Adam. Anything that you want to show the good people out there? Look at this.
Yeah.
This guy wastes no time.
Look at that.
Wade Wilson, he just loves you all. And this is, they say hot off the press. This is fresh from the FedEx guy. Just got this 5 o'clock. Did a quick unboxing. Actually, my daughter was doing. I do unbox for those who don't know. On my 1AM12 channel, I do unboxings with my daughter. Great way to bonding experience, and she's like Geek 2.0 if I'm Geek 1.0, and she just loves all the different Marvel, Star Wars, all that stuff, Lord of the Rings. So she was doing homework, and I'm telling her, I can't wait. I got to open this. So I open it, and then she comes downstairs and she goes, "You didn't wait for me?" So no, we got to get this
Your homework
out there.
can wait.
So I did tape her at the end. She gave her review at the she didn't see all the accessories, but she did give her review, which that video is coming out soon. But it's a great figure, love it. And then I do have the Artisan Anakin on the way. That should be here on Friday. So I'm gonna be collecting all the cans and bottles in the neighborhood.
He's putting his big boy
and
pants
all
on.
the couch cushions and to pay for these. So anyone that's got any extra bottles or cans, let me know.
It's time for your first 1/6 loan, Adam.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you too, I really commend you for being able to do that with your daughter too. I mean, you know me, I share some of my story with my daughters too, and kind of how I try to manipulate them into liking Star Wars, or force them without forcing them, hey, let's watch this, or hey, just kind of just keep railing into their brains yeah, Star Wars is great. I'll buy you a book, I'll buy you a Lego set. Well, so the fact that you actually have that together is really cool. So that's really cool to hear about. And that's kind of what's cool about the hobby too. We don't always hear about that. Sometimes you can incorporate it with your family and kind of make it a whole thing. And holy cow, guys, something just happened. We got another special surprise. It's not just the three amigos tonight. Let me find the appropriate thing here. And I got so many of these, I can't find them anymore.
You gotta get organized, dude.
Oh man, that just kills the whole moment.
We are back! We're so back in action!
And we're the
Four.
best friends that anybody could have. We're the
Four.
best friends that anyone could have. We're gonna do things all the time together.
Looks like we got a Wolfpack coming to the ring.
The Wolfpack themselves.
Oh,
Hey,
there he is.
Too sweet,
there
baby.
he is.
Need that Undertaker gif right now where he's waking up from the dead. Too sweet, Rick. Wasn't sure if you'd
He's
make it
coming
or
up.
not, but here he is.
What's
At
up,
least for a
buddy?
little bit.
Too sweet to
What's
you.
up, buddy?
I think he was in the chat and he's like, "What? Talking about Daredevil? All right, I'm
Yeah, I was like, I gotta
He's
make
like,
this
all right,
part,
I'll
you know?
come on for a couple
If I'm gonna make
minutes.
anything, I gotta do Daredevil.
That baby can change his own diaper. I'll be on.
Right.
Yeah. He's
I'm
learning.
going to switch you two though, so you're facing each other. There we go. This way we're all
It's
like,
weird, but I understand why you did it too. I get it.
it's like one of those OCD things that just really bothers me. Like if somebody's facing the outer range of the screen, but I guess I get that way with my figures too. Like levels and balance has to be there. So
If you've seen his collection, you know exactly why we look the way we look on screen right now. So that's real.
oh man, Brick, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Adam's hoodie is making me want to get a prequel trilogy hoodie.
OT baby.
Yeah, sorry for the table right here. I'm building the Razor Crest right now, so that's kind of in the middle of the room as we speak. But yeah, getting it done. UCS. So
Very
good
nice.
stuff.
We were just going over any grabs you've gotten from the hobby this week, and Adam has hit the jackpot. I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to top that, but anything that you received this week or anything incoming that you're excited about?
I just buy stuff and I never get it. So that's where I'm at right now.
I was pretty proud of my haul, but then Adam showed up. So I don't even know if I want to talk about mine anymore.
Well, you got to talk about it.
Well, I guess I do now. Well, I got an old grail of mine here that I've been eyeing for years. I got Road Worn Thor from Ragnarok.
Really?
That'll come in.
Oh, that's the exclusive one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got that one coming in. Forgot it for a steal of a deal. I couldn't pass it up. And also I sent out my my OT custom head sculpts to get commissioned and repainted.
Wow.
So
repainted?
those already shipped already. I shipped them out this weekend. It was delivered, and it's already on its way back to me now. Fastest commission I think I've ever had. So excited to get those in hand. So, but it's no Anakin Artisan, whatever. No big deal.
OT is OT, man.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't want to share.
Brick, did you have anything coming in? I know kind of Spider-Punk reviewed.
I
but
mean,
we're not
I
gonna share
reviewed Spider-Punk. That should be coming back to me, I would think, in about a week. Other than that, I mean, just waiting on a few figures to come in, waiting on a few figures to be released. Yeah, so nothing really new now. I did buy a Supergirl Iron Studios statue. Iron Studios isn't all that expensive, so I saw it was a pre-order, and I kind of want to have like a corner of a Supergirl like shrine thing going on because I'm getting really excited for the new DC stuff. So but no, just pre-ordered a lot as well. Starting up with the pre-orders again. I went on a hiatus with that, and now I'm getting behind and I'm getting a little freaked out. So I'm like, I better start pre-ordering a couple figures, or else all these are going to come on my lap at the same time. Pause.
Yeah, that was
Mother of God.
God.
No diddy.
That-
No diddy.
I should have stayed off tonight.
That's what she said.
Oh, I don't think so.
All right, enough with the gimmicks here, guys. Well, yeah, we're gonna cut you off before you continue down that rabbit hole. It sounds like you guys got some pretty good hauls. I've actually been having a lot of things outgoing, kind of revamping Marvel. I got the No Way Home Spider-Man, the final swing suit to replace my Iron Spider. Shipped that one out. Got this one. And I got an old friend back. I got Endgame Thor sold, shipped out, and I brought back a Thor myself, DLO, but I got the Infinity War Thor, and then I got the Stormbreaker from Endgame, so that it's, it fits.
Nice, so it's accurate now. Okay.
Yes, and I've sold some other things, so I actually just shipped out Battle Damage 85 today. I have a nest egg of money sitting in my eBay account that I haven't spent for like about a week, so it's burning a hole.
Wow,
in my
a whole
pocket.
week, you don't
But
say.
that's a long time, man. For me,
Yeah.
it's a long time. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm really holding out for that dewback.
This guy's nuts.
I know. I can't say no to it. So I think I'm gonna have to just make a move for that when the time comes.
Just do it.
Well, yeah,
You
but
know what's going to happen eventually. Just
I know, right?
Never
So I have the funds now. I could easily make it happen. Maybe even have a little something on the side. So yeah, definitely considering that. But outside of that, nothing incoming this week. Also reviewed Spider-Punk. So great figure, by the way. But channel members can watch that right now. Otherwise, Friday that'll be out. But
I love the guitar in that.
Dude, it's so
Yeah.
cool, isn't it? Yeah. Cool figure. Like, yeah, cool figures. Watch our reviews and comment on our videos. Let's see who's joining us tonight. We got 51 to start the show. Solid numbers. We got AJ. Says, hi, friends. I'll catch the replay, but I hope everyone has a great stream, an even better night. And I said, no, stay with us. And that was the last we heard from him. So we got OG fan saying, too sweet. What's going on, my friend? We got Kevin in the house. What's up, Wolfpack? Picked up Tech over the weekend. Awesome figure. You're right, Dilo. Like, it's kind of sad how quickly we all move past things. Like, we're always on to the next hunt, the next treasure, the next figure. Like, Tech is such a great figure, and for some reason it seems so long ago that we unboxed that.
That's right.
Live.
Yeah.
And it's like maybe when your collection gets big enough, it almost just falls in place, and then you almost see a collection, but you don't see individual figures as much. So like, you just said Tech, and I'm like, man, what a great figure. And
Amazing.
it's good to go back, repose, fall back in love with some of these individual figures. But I digress. We got Tighter FL channel member. What's up, everyone? Hope Star Wars Celebration brings us some OT, but it will likely focus on other areas of Star Wars. Now, you, sir, sound like one of us. You sound like a grumpy old OT fan. Am I right, boys? I'm right.
You're right.
Yeah.
We got X-Man Supreme, another friend of the channel. Hey, everybody. What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here. Matt, happy Liberation Day. What's going on, Matt? Happy Wolfpack Day. We got Valkyrie Magnus, another channel member. Good evening, my friends. Let's have a great stream tonight. Yes, let's forget the world around us and just focus on the hobby we love. That's That's what it's all about tonight.
Sounds
We got
like a good
Stacy.
idea.
Good evening, Wolfpack and fellow collectors. What is going to happen to the price of hot toys? Let's come back to that one. Or do you guys, let's discuss it right now really quick. We can touch upon that. Do you guys have any thoughts on the price? Obviously, everything in life seems to be getting more expensive. Maybe the tariffs as well. Maybe we should talk to. Maybe Adam's not the one to talk to about this because he's just like out here, you know, dollar bills, y'all.
I'll tell you, about an hour before we went on, I was kind of having my dinner, and someone posted a 1/6 Republic about this, and I commented on it. And I made the huge mistake of doing that, and within 5 minutes, after getting some responses to my comment, I immediately deleted my comment. So,
Oh, no.
Because it just, you know,
Well, now you got to share what was the comment.
Yeah, you,
Well,
or
I
you
mean,
get
that's now.
careful. Don't get us canceled.
You know,
Was it
I
to do with
think
tariffs?
It's profane. Just like what was your?
I think that in the long term, it's a national security issue that the United States. And I think
Mike's chopping up. Is it chopping up on your side?
I think he's doing that on purpose, actually.
Got muted.
Did you do that on purpose?
Actually, what I said was,
yeah.
so. We'll leave it at that.
Perfect.
There you go.
You literally got.
You heard it
muted
here
for,
first, guys.
Oh, that was great.
All
Not
right,
on
all right.
purpose, but it just Anyways,
Yeah.
that was good.
Brick, DLO, what do you guys think? What do you think is going to happen to the price of hot toys? I mean, obviously, if it's an easy answer, it's going to keep going up, right? Slowly but surely.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dila.
I mean, that's the easy answer for sure. The harder question is everybody going to stick around to see that? That's the more exciting question of them there, because I mean, Hot Toys and every other company can, put their price out, but we talk about this and we're all guilty of this here. We vote with our wallet, and sometimes we just vote anyways. But I think I don't know, everything is going up in price. I mean, even from when I started, I mean, there was still figures in the high 100s when I was when I started there. Not don't get me wrong, like nothing crazy, Stormtrooper here or something like that, right? But to see it now where it is today, how much it goes for now, it's it's just one of those things where like the price is the price, but I think consumers still have a price point where they feel comfortable buying at. Well, now I feel like more people are willing to wait for a deal on a used figure as opposed to buying new, just because I still don't think collectors are still comfortable paying that price range for every figure. And if they do, they try to get out of it faster than they ever have before, because they're trying to recoup their money before it loses all of its value. So yeah, I think with pricing how it is here today, like it is going to only go up, but I just wonder quietly, but now out loud, since you asked, I wonder how many people are going to be sticking around. I feel like there's going to be a drop off somewhere, because Hot Toys and all the other companies they seem to be full steam ahead. They're not slowing down on figures. Maybe they might be not delivering them fast enough, which I think is happening now. I think they're producing more than they can actually push out at any given time, but they're still on their way, and collectors still have to figure out if they want to keep it or they want to go on to the next thing that this next company is going to produce. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm curious to see where everybody else is, if we're going to have the size of community that we have now.
Well, the one thing I wonder is the Hong Kong resellers, and just having bought Anakin, Artisan Anakin, and the battle damaged Deadpool.
Keep rubbing it in.
If those tariffs are in place, how many people are going to consider? I'll just wait. I'll wait till Sideshow, or I'll wait till Hawk Wars or someone else has it. Underground Figures, one of those groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brick, you got any thoughts?
No, other than just I'm dealing with it with other companies as well, like Lego. There's a new Lord of the Rings set that's $280 that has no reason of being that much money. So we're just seeing it all around. I know you guys kind of said it already, but I mean, prices are going up everywhere. You got movie prices, ticket prices going up. You got gas prices always going up and down. But I mean, just anywhere you go, clothes. I mean, Nike's going up. It's not just, you know, companies from other countries. It's just everywhere. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I like what DLO. I mean, I don't like what DLO said, but I agree with what DLO said because yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you know, I really like this community, and it's kind of I don't want to say it's like, you know, puts fear in me or anything like that, but just not knowing if somebody who we're hanging out with on a weekly basis will be around in 6 months. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they just disappear and they don't want to say they're
Infinity
leaving,
War,
you know? Yeah.
So you're gonna be more like me, Brick. You got to collect without fear. I've always said
without fear.
Collect without fear.
I'm a fearful collector. That's
cautiously collect.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I think after some time it'll calm down a little bit, but I think everyone's kind of freaking out a little bit too and letting it be more than what it might really become. So, you know, a lot of people just freak out about things when they hear the word tariff, and automatically the first time it's been said just jump to conclusions. And sure, I'm sure there's going to be some, you know, thing to that. But let's just see what happens. Be positive.
Yeah, some tough choices might have to be made by collectors, you know, whether that's getting out entirely or being more selective. I know I've already canceled a couple hefty pre-orders that I'm just like, I just can't stomach paying this much money for. Mainly the battle damage Darth Vader. Like, I think that figure looks badass, but A, where am I putting it? And B, gosh, what a price tag that thing has. So, you know, 4 Vaders, 4 Vaders for now, that's probably just good enough. So maybe my thought will change too when it's out, but we'll see. Matt just says TVA Wolverine just went waitlist. I'm assuming that's a small batch. What do you guys think? That's pretty quick. That was like my least favorite of the Wolverines that came from the movie. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was probably the only figure from that line outside of Kid Pool where I instantly said, no, I'm good.
Right.
I got Kid Pool coming.
I actually pre-ordered that last week, the TVA Wolverine. And the reason being is I want one Wolverine with the mask and one with the Hugh Jackman sculpt. So that was my thought.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, and now that TVA one's going to look good next to that battle damage Deadpool.
Yeah,
so,
that was another thought too.
Yeah.
For sure. And just because it went waitlist, obviously doesn't mean it's gone forever. Hit up my boy Hawkhorse Toys and Underground Figures and see if they still have it as well. Underground Figures. All right, moving along here. Universal Key, welcome in. We got the movie canon Geo himself. Evening Collectors, Wolfpack, Adam. What's going on, Geo? Too sweet
Adam
to you,
is
my
one
friend.
with the pack.
He's now a pack member. We got Fig, Poser, what up to the whole watch? What's going on, my friend? Thank you for being here on this Wednesday night. We got Curtis, another friend of the channel. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great night. Same to you, my friend. Same to you. Chris, hey, guys. All ready for a great show. Collection Obsession. Too sweet to you as well. Thank you for being here each and every week. Mark Attack. Hello. We got the Ben Thomas Show, the legend himself, stopping in for a little bit of a watch here. Hope you're doing well, sir. Thank you for watching as well. Field of Burn. Hello. Welcome in. We got Jazzy. He never misses a Wolfpack, and he never misses an opportunity to have a little bit of wine with him as well. So
that sounds good.
Love that about him. We got Austin Collects. First of 2 Artisan Anakin inbound. Can't wait.
First of 2.
Grill.
Nice.
You, Adam, have been outdone, sir.
Wow.
Yeah, just tip your hat. That's all you can do for that. That is amazing. Congrats. Let's see here. Yeah, Jedi, I really need it to after being ran off the road and stalked by some crazy lady who climbed through the window. What the hell? Had to call the cops. So yes, I need Wolfpack. Dude, It was raining like crazy here today, like downpour. And I was on the highway driving to work, and I almost rear-ended somebody because they were stopped in the middle of the lane. They must have lost vision and bumped into the guardrail in the middle there, and
Oh man.
didn't have the flashes on or anything, so I had to slam on my brakes. Luckily, nobody was behind me, but yeah, it was a crazy hour and a half drive.
Oh.
So yeah, I hope you're doing okay, man. That sounds scary, but maybe funny in a year or so. So yeah, we'll see.
Funny in a year.
We got my Father Django channel member. Hey guys, have a great show. We will do our best. Another goat of the community. We got 6 Scale Mafia. What is going on, my friend? Someone said OT for life, and I was summoned. Yes, my friend, OT for sure. It's the place to be. Thank you for stopping in, Anthony. Hope you're doing well. You did rattle me. I will say he rattled me a little bit when he threw all of his boxes away on his channel, but give me a little bit of a chill. But hey, more power to anybody that can do that too. If you can let go, it's just not there yet. Any of you guys think about like throwing your boxes away yet? Are you at
Can't
that
do
stage?
I can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
I'd rather
Can't
sell
do
a
it.
couple figures and make room.
I toss
Yeah.
my shippers, but I save my boxes. In fact,
Oh,
I told my wife
you're sick.
I got to go to Job Lot, discount store around here, and get some totes to put them in and put them in the garage
Yeah.
because I'm running out of space.
Honestly, I just sell figures too much to throw that stuff out. Like even
Yeah.
shippers, it's just so handy for me to go in, get a shipper, and then just ship it right out.
I just feel like my figure is not complete anymore if I don't have the box.
Yeah.
I just, you know,
It's
like
part of its soul.
it's part of the it's like
Yeah.
it's
I mean, maybe I'm just too old school, but I mean, back in my day, if you didn't have the brown shipper, that thing was practically useless. I don't want throw the whole damn figure away if you didn't have a brown shipper.
But does it come with the shipper? Oh man,
Can you
I
double
get it though.
box
Like I was watching that short that he did. I'm like, man, how liberating must that feel to just be like cool with it and throw it all away, and like all the space you could free.
got to
up for
be
that,
like
you know?
the Rose from the Titanic when she just drops.
What the hell,
Yeah,
dude? I saw something how she's like the villain, like how she like screwed her family over and like everybody because she just did such a selfish act.
She fell in love.
Anyways,
In like 2 hours.
Anthony, thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. Unboxing Battling version 2. Let's effing go.
everybody's getting this thing.
Yeah,
Nice.
man. Got Doc Bat. Hello. Chris Santos, another friend of the channel. How's everyone doing today? Doing well now. Doing well now. We got Striker, Too Sweet. There's a storm coming this month with Celebration and Marvel, the Thunderbolts. But I was pre-order crazy. Got Daredevil, Purple Rain, and Deadpool. So here we go. I'm actually excited for Thunderbolts. I think that might look good. Anybody else
That
on
movie
the
looks
panel?
really good.
Gonna go see
Yeah,
that?
man.
Anybody
opening
hoping
night tickets.
for figures for that as well?
I just want a good movie, man. Movies have been
Honestly, yeah,
so
it's like
off.
Dude, I don't think we've seen a really good movie in theater since, well, I guess Deadpool Wolverine, but before
Dune?
that, it was like Dune 2, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I went to go see. You remember I told you guys a couple weeks ago I was going to go see Novocaine for my birthday,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I saw it. It was pretty decent, but like it was not as good as the trailer made it out to be. And like we were just talking about how everything is going up in price. One large popcorn and 2 drinks ran me like $30 for that.
Jeez.
So like you compound that with the movie being so and like, has it always been 40 minutes before you actually watch the movie? Like the previews are like super long. I don't know, is it just like where I live? But like
It's
I had to
half
start
hour
time-
long.
Yeah, I had to start time like 2 or something like that, and I didn't get to
And your
watch the movie for like
popcorn's
half an
halfway
hour.
done.
And like Nicole Kidman would not stop yapping at how great the movies are. Just play the movie already. But yeah, I need a good movie. So I'm really rooting for Thunderbolts. I don't know much about the Thunderbolts. It seems like a Marvel Suicide Squad to
Yep.
me.
Yeah.
But I just want a good movie to watch, man.
Yelena, man.
do.
Yelena.
Yeah, Yelena.
I'm hoping for a new figure of Yelena.
Yeah, I mean,
Same.
the one we have now is
Same.
really a really good figure, but yeah, I could use another Yelena. I could use, I think what's his name? Winter Soldier, Bucky looks pretty cool too. If we can get a figure from
Bucky's
him.
in there.
Yep.
Kurt Russell.
Red Guardian, I wouldn't mind either.
Red Guardian, I would
Red
not mind a
Guardian.
figure. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully it's
and
good.
actually, U.S. Agent. I'd like I like John Walker.
Yeah,
They'll probably just give us like 2 figures and call it a day.
Yeah,
It's
probably get
typically
Elena,
what
and
we
that's
do.
it.
So I know Brick does this, but does anybody else, when you go to a movie, does anybody else eat candy, or is it just popcorn?
No, I bring my own candy. I refuse.
So same.
I would
So do you go like the dollar store or
go
somewhere
to
else?
Dollar
and
Store,
then
go to like
bring it in?
Walgreens or any pharmacy and just grab a shit ton.
I usually go to the dollar store, but sometimes if I feel like not leaving, the house 30 minutes, 40 minutes early,
Right.
I'll say screw it and get candy there. But I always have to have my icy. That is like my thing.
Icy?
I have to have an
You has
icy.
to.
Yep, every time.
Every time.
Like what
Yeah,
flavor?
It's like a slushy.
I get the cherry.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
a slushy.
It's a slushy.
Yep.
Okay, good question here, Adam. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, slushy.
Aren't you like? Don't you have enough cold where you live? Like you have to consume it too.
I do, man. If I start getting warm, I melt.
I mean, I was thinking to myself like, oh, I can really use a hot chocolate in Wisconsin because it's always cold.
Well,
I'm gonna slush it.
just because you're in Jedi's
Cherry on
basement,
top.
you need the hot chocolate. The Jedi's basement in the summer is colder than it is outside in winter here.
If you ever want to bury a dead body, just put Jetty's basement. That's it, dude.
Oh man. Anyways,
Anyways,
we got Hammer of God. What's up,
Thank
Jen?
you, X-Man. I appreciate you.
What's going on? We got Jose Plus. Hey, fellas. What's going on, Jose? Too sweet to you. Thank you for being here. We got Wayne Timothy joining us tonight. Welcome in. Welcome in. We got Batman Collectibles. Good evening. Subnautica fan. Hello, hello. We got D Dot. Sub Pack. Just pre-ordered Ahsoka because it looks damn good. Tony Tom, my waitlist converted for the Joker Hot Toy, so of course I ordered it. Congrats. That's always a good feeling. I have not had that feeling. I don't know if I've ever gone through a waitlist conversion. I've only had a couple in the past, and it was just never a good time or just something that I just wanted to just write that in there, pick up. So I don't really know that feeling, I don't think.
I got one
That's
good
sad. That's sad. You guys have waitlist conversions where you've
I know
picked
D'Lo
it up?
has.
I got
I was
one
there.
good one.
Yeah, D'Lo has.
One
I got a
good-
few.
yeah.
Mine was the Miles Morales special edition because I missed out
There
on
you
that. That was about a month ago. So yeah.
Right on.
I had Black Panther, and I actually had the first Ahsoka when it first came out,
Cool.
and I picked those up right away.
I had Aquaman 2, Padme, a couple of the Guardians 3 figures, like Groot, and then I think Star-Lord. Star-Lord kind of maybe thinking like, I don't know, like I was thinking maybe of getting a Nebula because the suit's not going to deteriorate, but how's she going to look with the only one in the suit? So I don't know.
Do you guys ever get conversions and it's like, it's too late?
Yeah, like
Yes,
I was
You know?
interested at one point, and now I've moved on. Yeah, it's crazy. This hobby
Obi-Wan
moves quick.
Kenobi, Darth Vader. That happened to me with.
Deluxe Toby for me.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
I still have not gotten into Toby. I desperately want a Toby in my collection, but I just refuse to buy that one.
You know
I
what's wild to
understand.
me is you ever see on some of the different Facebook groups, people will post they got a waitlist conversion for figures that have been out for a year.
Yeah.
And I saw someone recently, they had Padme. I'm like, dude, I got that a year ago, and I got that
just
for
got hit up for
Sideshow.
Padme.
Yeah.
I'm still on the wait
they
list
found
for
it under
Crosshair.
the couch or something. They're like,
That's
hey,
what I'm
we got
wondering.
it.
Where are these coming from?
I'm hoping to get a Crosshair.
Mm.
On the
That'd
wait
be
list.
cool.
Been on there for a while. But anyways, yeah, interesting. Christian Crosshair, speaking of Crosshair Cooper is in the house as well. What's going on, my friend? We got Commander Green. Hello. AZ Figs is joining us tonight. Joe P. Many collectors will tap out, and lots of small shops that sell Black Series and TVC especially will struggle to survive. I don't know how some of these shops are making as they are right now with just some of their prices, but nonetheless, I don't always understand that side of the business either. We got Big Dog Pound 1 joining us. Woo! What's going on, my friend? Shouting out a bunch of people in the chat. Neilerific, channel member. Hey, Wolfpack just popped in to say hi. At work now. We'll catch you on the replay. Thank you for watching the replay. It means a lot. Matt says he was cutting back before the tariffs. I mean, yeah, I get it. I tried, just couldn't kick it.
Couldn't kick it.
Keep shippers. No shipper, no sale.
I'm never selling these. You know what? When I'm gone, they're my daughters, and that's her problem.
There you
There
go.
you go.
I guess my thing is too, like, there's so like I'm actually doing a video. It's in the works. Top 5 figures I'm least likely to sell. I won't say that I won't, because I never say never anymore. But like least likely that I will ever sell. And that's even if there's like a 2.0. But typically, like if a 2.0 comes, like we are so quick to just say, okay, like Adam, I sold you my DX 13. You know, I want the new one. And you know, so like for me, it's always just hard to, I guess, be good with what I have when something better comes along. So that's why, like, I just never know. Like, I never know, like, are they going to make a Vader with new material or, you know? So,
See, that's why I have a nickname for what we're going through, Graham. I call it the Andy effect.
the Andy effect?
The Andy effect. Toy
Please
Story.
explain.
Toy Story. If you've seen the first one, you guys know Woody was his favorite figure. He
Yeah.
played with him no matter what.
Yeah.
And then Buzz Lightyear came to the picture. And then Andy decided, I don't want to play with you no more. And he drops Woody on the floor. You remember that?
I remember.
That is the Andy
The
effect.
slow-mo. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's true. It's true.
That's a good movie. I'm gonna watch
Great
it
movie.
tomorrow. What's the best Toy Story movie? What's your favorite one? A lot of people say 2, but
2.
2 is tough to beat.
I don't know, man.
I like 3 though. I feel like 3 was perfect though.
3
Dude, 3 was the perfect ending, but I think
I
my
kinda-
favorite's still the first.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Say
sour
1 and
about that
3.
4th
Yeah.
one.
No, the 4th one sucked.
4th.
Yeah.
Nah.
That was the worst Pixar movie of all time. That
No,
movie
that's,
is
they've had some other stinkers. I mean, you want to
Oh.
go, but 3 was just like the perfect.
Dude,
end,
what
which
they
I
what they
never
did to Woody, like, hey, Woody's all about friends and Andy, and I'm always going to, oh, peace out, guys. I'm gonna stick here. Yeah, I can't.
I can't. Well, and then they're making a 5th one, like,
touched. Probably fix the 4th one, I imagine.
or
Yep.
we'll just make it worse. I mean, man,
Mm.
you think these movies these days would kind of fix some wrongs, but or right some wrongs, but
It's the return of the last Jedi of Toy Story right there is what's happening. We
right.
just got a perfect trilogy and you messed it up, Disney. Thanks.
Money will
Yes,
drive
it
you to
did.
do a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
Should get a live action Toy Story soon.
Oh, stop.
Oh,
We
please.
probably will.
We probably will.
Tough. All right, guys, you want to talk about some figures here,
Sure, why not?
dude? Daredevil.
Daredevil.
I'm still
Daredevil.
stuck on season 2, but gosh, I can admit this figure like is very enticing. I love the colors. I love the suit here. But I'm gonna have to push myself to kind of catch up before I decide. Like, is this just something? Like for me, is this just something that's like the flavor of the day or the flavor of the week? Looks great, but down the road doesn't have that lasting effect for me personally, just because I'm not the biggest Daredevil fan. Trying to get away from just buying because a figure looks freaking cool, which was this one does. So I'm more likely, I guess, not to get this, but I want to know what you guys think. What pops out to you? Adam, let's start with you. Are you watching the show? Have you watched the show? Are you all caught up?
Yeah, I'm
And
caught
with-
up. I saw last night's episode, and I think the show's fantastic. I think it's one of the best so far. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. I mean, I was a fan of the Netflix series, and I was a fan of the comic from the 80s and early 90s when I was really into reading comics. In fact, I actually have one of the Born Agains. It actually says Born Again on the comic cover hanging on my wall here, back from
Nice.
the mid 80s, Frank Miller run. And I hope they stick the landing. Sometimes they don't always stick the landing. But so far, I think it's been excellent. I would love to get a Daredevil figure. My number one IP for collecting Hot Toys is Star Wars. Number 2 is Marvel. I definitely want a Daredevil figure. This is a figure I'm not going backwards on. I'm not going to get the one that came out a few years ago.
Right.
I know the one that came out last year, the mustard and ketchup version from She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I know that's like his original outfit from the comics. That's not my favorite. I like the traditional red. My only hesitation on getting this, and I'm gonna wait just two. I got a bunch of pre-orders right now, and I want to I have like 13 or 14 pre-orders, and I want some of those to clear before I get another pre-order. So that's one. And then the second is they're filming the second season right now, and it's a little bit of a spoiler alert. I don't think it's a huge spoiler. There was a photo that was circulating online of the filming in New York City, and he's wearing a black suit with the DD on his chest.
Thanks for ruining that.
What?
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
There's a reason why I have you muted on Instagram, Adam, and that's why I'm just kidding.
So
Adam's like,
I want to talk about something.
All right. I'd like to say something.
no, that's cool, man. I get what you're saying too. Like, and I guess what do you, DLO and Berg think? Like, is this got enough to come home? Because like Adam said, like kind of on the back burner, at least of right now, because there's other stuff. Like, does this kind of take the cake for you, or is this kind of something you're gonna have to wait and see because there's other things that you'd rather have?
Yeah, for me, yes, I want a black suit with the double D's on it. I want a red suit with the double D's on it, right? But
throw some D's on it.
Getting this figure for $280, I think, is a win, because it also kind of it's kind of that figure for not just the comic books, not just like, you know, TV and whatnot, like cartoons and whatnot, but also kind of represents Netflix for me and my time watching that show. And yes, I know it's a little different than the Netflix version, but it would be that standalone for the television show on Netflix and for Disney Plus. And I've loved the run so far, and if I have a Daredevil that represents that, another Daredevil that represents, you know, something more like the black suit that I kind of always liked growing up and whatnot, I don't mind having multiple versions of a superhero that I, you know, have a lot of fun watching, reading about. He's top 5 for me, superheroes. So like this is one that I wouldn't mind having 2 or 3 suits.
3. Oh, but different variants.
Right.
Yeah, Jose's got a great point too. He says this is like the Venom without the spider symbol to me.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
DLO, what are you thinking? Is it? Yeah, what do you think about the outfit in general? Like,
well, ironic, the outfit's the same throughout the course of all the seasons and years. It's essentially the Netflix outfit. Same as the She-Hulk outfit, same as it. The only difference here is just different color. Proportions are really making this one look different, but it's essentially the same suit. Even the black suit that we're talking about now, that Adam was gracious enough to spoil for everybody who hasn't watched it yet, you know, is the same suit, just repainted black as well too. So suit wise is a suit. It's fantastic.
It's a suit.
For me personally, like I saw it too, so I'm just teasing you, Adam. I saw the same photos you saw, and the new suit looks great. And obviously, you know, yes, having the symbol really takes it over top. But for me, like, Daredevil is red. Like, I know there's precedence in the comics that he has a black suit, and the black suit looks great. And there's a cool story behind it as well too, don't get me wrong. But like, I need Daredevil in red with a double D. And this is where I'm crazy enough to like maybe, you know, talk to somebody, see if they can help me out here. I want this suit. I don't care if it has a D or not. I'm hoping maybe it's one of those things where like maybe at the end of the season he gets the D on this suit, right? And then Hot Toys updates this, right? Or if it's gonna be this suit here, I'm willing at this point, because like red is to me Daredevil. I'm willing to get somebody to paint some D's on this thing here, because people did that for Spider-Man. I mean, for Venom originally when it first came out. Because I mean, Jose brings up a good point. He feels kind of naked without his logo, right? Like it really feels naked without. I mean, imagine Batman without a bat on his chest. Like it feels weird. Spider-Man without a spider on it.
Superman without
Superman without the S.
Yep.
Stop.
Right. Exactly.
You're hurting me.
I think honestly, if I can get somebody to paint a D on this here for a double D on this, I would be okay. Because I like this suit. I like the color of the suit. My biggest gripe with the original Netflix one is that I didn't like the color of red they chose. It was more muted. It was more of a maroon, right? And I felt like it was just like, okay, I get it. Red is red. But honestly, like, I'm an apologist for the Ben Affleck costume from back in the day, from the original movie.
You're sick.
No, I will apologize for, but say what you will. It was accurate to Daredevil. So
That's the best suit so far. I don't care what people say.
I thank you. I mean, I'm with you on that 100%.
Well, I did like the black suit that they had at the beginning of the series.
Well, that's different. That's
that cool
a
too.
totally different
It was
thing.
still cool. Yeah.
They need to make that, because I definitely don't want a third party version. I want that suit for sure. But I mean, let's look at this here. If you compare this from the first one that we got, the second one, which the first one I desperately wanted, despite what I'm talking shit about it now. I wanted that one forever, but it just kind of aged out. It was too expensive for too long, and it got old on me. So I was like, all right, well, I'm good. Then the mustard suit came out. I was like, nah. Yeah, I get it from the comics, but it's not for me.
Had to.
Yeah, like this one here is the closest that we're getting to the definitive Daredevil look, and it's missing a D. You put a D on this thing here, it's no different than the black suit. I like the black suit, but it's too dark of a suit for me. I prefer Daredevil in red. So you can wait for the black suit, or you can get this one. Me personally, I'm kind of like Brick. I kind of would be willing to get both, but like I don't want to miss on the red suit just because I know the black suit's on the way. That's my sense on that there.
Steven says you can get the D's on the belt.
You do.
But
you do.
Gotta have it on the chest. Give me those
It's more of
D's
an
on
Easter
the
egg,
chest.
yeah, but like, it's got to put in the chest, man.
I mean,
Gotta
you
get it
could
on the
get,
chest.
like Brick's saying, you could get this one, and then when the other one comes out, you could have this figure with the Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock head sculpt.
Sure.
Now that's a whole subject altogether. What does everybody think about Mr. Charlie Cox over here? Because I don't know how I feel.
I don't
about
like
this
the
one.
dead stare. What's he looking
He's
at?
blind.
He's blind, bro.
He's blind, dude. What's wrong with you?
Why he doesn't have the rolling eyes?
Something weird about that guy's eyes.
Robert,
Oh
you don't
my
know if
God.
there's anybody that's impaired watching the show right now.
Don't blame me. You said it.
Well, if they were impaired, they'd be
Trying to
hearing the
make it
show
sound
right
like
now.
it was Brick that said it.
No, I'm kidding. Like I said, I'm on season 2, so I do know that he is blind. I was just making a joke, but I think it's a good head sculpt. I mean, again, I haven't seen the new one. Is he look old enough to you guys?
Honestly, he
I
doesn't look
don't
like
know.
Charlie Cox to me. I feel like they went too far with this one.
Adam, what do you think? You like the
I think it
likeness?
looks pretty good. Yeah, I think it's a good
I think it's
90%. I give it an A-.
I give it a B. I feel like they could have done some work. I think it looks better with the glasses on, which I don't say a lot because you know me with Hot Toys glasses. But it does look more like Charlie Cox with the glasses on when he takes them off. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't.
I call
It's
this
not
one
all
bad
the way
because
there.
the red and mustard one had a head sculpt, and I think it looks way better than this one. Likeness wise, at least.
What do you guys think about him coming with the glasses when he's in his suit?
It's thoughtful.
Good for if you do a kit
Yeah,
bash,
you want a
right?
kit bash, yeah.
But, I mean,
Probably.
nobody's
Yeah.
really going to use it with this.
They probably figured this figure's coming with nothing. We have to throw the glasses in there.
People bitch and moan if they don't get it. No, bitch and moan if they do get it. Let me.
I do
check
like as an
something out.
accessory, it's got the half helmet and it's got a little stand.
Yeah, that's cool.
Helmet. I think that's neat.
Yep.
But Stryker brings up a good point. Like the original one had this neat diorama backdrop for it there that she just attached to the stand. Like it'd be nice if they threw something like that back in because that's like that was the first of its modular style that we've ever got before, and like that's an accessory that I'm gonna miss there. Like that looks more like
You know
Charlie
what?
Cox to me. Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
That's a better head sculpt.
Yeah. What the new one or the old one?
The mustard.
The mustard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
This is kind of a weird angle, but this also has the glasses on. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of this suit, but I know people wanted a Daredevil, and this was like, the one they could get. So I totally get it.
Yeah,
But I
it's not
think
very flattering.
I think the faceplates look a lot better now. now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the base plates look better now, but the full sculpt is better on the mustard. I agree.
And I don't know if it's the color of the mask, but I feel like this new one looks better as well. Maybe because the color just blends in better.
I think the question is a lot of times with some of these figures, when you don't have everything that is quote unquote complete, is how many versions of that character do you want or need? And for some people, like Darth Vader, I have 4 Darth Vaders, and I got a 5th on the way. I have that Mythos, or whatever it's called, the one that you canceled, Graham.
Battle damage.
Yeah, I have that one on order. I love Darth Vader. You know, Spider-Man. I have 6 Spider-Man figures. I love Spider-Man, but Bucky, I just have 1. I have the one from Endgame. I don't need more. I don't need a Winter Soldier figure. You know, so I guess that's everyone's got to answer that question: is do you need the one that's most complete and you want to wait for that, or are you having a couple different versions of that character?
Oh man, Jazzy. Yeah, no. X-Man says though, yeah, his nose is too bulbous. Doesn't look right.
Also, the eyes are off though. They look darker than what they should be. Like, they look more sunken. It should be red all over on the eyes.
Yeah,
which I find a little bit odd about this one. It's throwing me off. Like I can see the red and the shine of it here, but all the lights make it look like he has black eyes, which is definitely wrong.
I wish Hot Toys would make a stained glass window church case.
Oh, that'd be
awesome.
amazing.
I talked about it in
amazing.
my Spider-Punk video too. Like, I'm just tired of the safe bases. They all do look alike, so kind of gives you continuity in your display with your stands and stuff. And I don't want these big gaudy diorama bases, but I would like environmental stands or bases where it's kind of like the Marshall. You know, that was a pretty decent base. You know, just an environmental base. Doesn't have to be huge or anything like that.
It's modular. Yeah, you can kind of.
That's even better than like the new Terminator one, where it feels like an old base, but they're just putting rails and chains on. Like I don't need that. But like, yeah, what Field of Bernison, like that stained glass would look cool. I just wish they would put a little bit more thought into the stands as well, and make it like we're not collecting these to have statues, but make it so it's more like a statue where it's a whole piece and it comes together a little bit better. But
yeah,
that's just me and my thought process.
But yeah, head sculpt wise, I think the head sculpt is the only thing that's honestly the eyes and the head sculpt for Matt Murdock. They're really need some work on there. So, but I mean, suit wise, I love the color. I love this color red, man. I just think it misses in a D, and this is like the best suit, the best look for him there. I mean, I think if this had a D on it, this would honestly crush the black one in my opinion. So, but that's just
DLO, you getting it?
Yeah, I agree.
Am I gonna get it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna get it. And if it doesn't come with the D's like I want, I'm gonna get someone to paint it because like Daredevil is red. I'm sorry.
I'll paint it.
No, I'm good. I'll get someone. I'm good.
You also could go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a little mini DD logo sticker.
There you go. There you go.
So I was talking to our boy Flavio, and we were kind of talking about how we could get every suit that, for Daredevil, and how they have the little stand for the mask, and then have all those masks lined up with each suit. You get one of those masks. That'd be pretty cool if that were to happen. So like if we get the black suit and we get the black mask on the stand, and another whatever suit down the road, a red one with a DD with something different, but
that would look cool.
Brick, you getting this?
Oh yeah.
Adam, getting this?
Yes.
3 solid yeses. I am on the fence, but I think that's pretty good actually for me, because I bet you guys thought I was a clear out pass on this one. But
I mean, you're still in season 2, so you're in no rush.
Right. I'll consider it. Like, I've kind of, in a way, uncuffed myself from my Marvel figures. I had like basically Endgame, Infinity War going, and now I'm starting to break off a little bit where I can just do kind of a Marvel thing and whatnot, so it doesn't have to just be that. So like kind of unlocked a little bit more wiggle room for what I'm collecting with Marvel. So I think this could be a potential, but kind of like Adam said too, I gotta wait and see where I'm at when this thing comes out. I don't think I'll pre-order it, but I might try to snag one when the time is right. So it looks great. I
I
think
want a Punisher figure to go with my Spider-Man. Like
Yeah,
I
buddy,
want.
there you
go.
Yeah, there's so much that I want from this show.
Yeah, it's gonna
And-
look sick with Spider-Man, man. Because I mean, it's
Oh,
pretty much
yeah.
all New York-based characters
Yeah,
over here.
yep.
So
Like you could recreate that comic book, the first
Yeah.
Punisher appearance, and
Mhm.
do all kinds of cool stuff. So
yeah, it's gonna be sick. I
I
can't
heard
wait.
rumor today that Punisher might be in the next Spider-Man.
careful.
yeah, I've been wondering if they're gonna put
Someone mute
Punisher
Adam's mic
or-
for the rest of the show.
if they're gonna put Punisher
There's a
or
rubber.
Kingpin, or because they're always like Spider-Man. They're not allowed to use Spider-Man in Daredevil TV show or Disney Plus or whatever. But can they bring these characters to life in the movies? I know Matt Murdock was in,
Yeah,
No
I
Way
was gonna
Home,
say,
but will we see like Daredevil? Will we see Kingpin or the Punisher and Spider-Man 4, and that more ground level environment for Spider-Man?
Well, you know what they say, Brick. It's a brand new day.
It's a brand new day. Yeah, I don't know what I think about that
poll
title.
says
I don't
here. Hopefully you guys voted because I'm going to end this poll. All right, I asked, you getting the DD suit or holding out the Daredevil suit? I should have rephrased that better. Or holding out for the double Ds. This suit is great, 54%, and then give me those Ds, 45%. So
Pretty close.
pretty split. Pretty split.
Babies.
I do think with the glasses on though, this does look a lot better. So I
Yeah.
think if you do want to kit bash the figure and do this, I still think it'll work. But I'm a
mean,
big fan of the suit too. It's very, very cool.
Honestly, I'm not going to use a head sculpt anyways. If
I
I have
want
to
Daredevil,
kit bash it and make
I want a lawyer. I want to kit bash
Right.
a lawyer, Matt.
oh yeah, if I were to kit bash, for sure.
I
But like,
do.
if I just have this figure,
Yeah.
mask on.
Yeah, I was
There's a
hoping
third
like
party out there, isn't there?
there
of,
is. Yeah, So
yeah,
Toys has made one, the lawyer, I think it's called or something like that. But yeah. But like D-Dot kind of pointed it out, and like he's got a point. Like Matt Murdock looks very Hispanic. And coming from one Hispanic to another, yeah, he looks like one of my cousins. So I don't know how I feel about this head sculpt.
Do you think
We'll
some of
see.
it could just be the lighting though?
No, the thing is, Charlie Cox is not a very good looking dude. He's got a very bulbous head.
Well, come on now. I don't know.
I mean, listen, I'm just saying he's not Ben
I
Affleck.
mean, he's
right?
Yeah,
You
he's
know?
he's
He's no Ben
Hugh
Affleck over
Jackman
here.
or Ben Affleck. Yeah,
But the thing is, what they're doing is they're kind of squeezing his head in to give him a better bone structure. Where the guy just has a really roundish head, kind of like. You guys ever see Puss in Boots? What was it? Humpty Dumpty? The egg.
oh my gosh,
He's got a weird funky head. I mean, he's got a huge hairline there, but yeah, I mean, look, this is more of a pretty up version of him, and I'm sure he approved this undoubtedly, but it don't look like Charlie Cox enough, man. I'm sorry. I hope they fix it a little bit better. It's not doing it for me. I still think the mustard one has the better head sculpt, in my opinion.
They're coming out of the woodwork now.
You see, you just
The
need someone to
chat
push
is
you a little bit.
taking
That's
the
why I'm
bait.
here. That's
They're
why I'm here on the
taking
show.
bait.
I'm Mr. Unagreeable.
Skin tone. They painted it too dark. Looks like he's fresh off the tanning bed, which
Right.
is odd because they've gotten away from that in the past. I mean, I think the face plates look good, but yeah, that's why I wonder if it's like more of like a lighting thing. I mean,
It's the Jersey Shore Daredevil.
Yeah, lighting is definitely strong.
yeah,
It's
something
sure.
is up with that
close,
nose,
too, so
man.
it's kinda
It's the
hard
nose.
to-
That
Starting-
nose looks
hard to
like
tell.
Starting to click now. Like he's got
Like a reindeer.
cheekbones. Like he doesn't have those kinds of cheekbones, man. It's just, yeah, it's off. Like I said,
Mhm.
he looks like my cousin Tito. He doesn't look like Charlie Cox.
All
And I
right.
can show you guys a picture of my cousin Tito, and you'd be like, "Oh snap!" Dealer's
he
got a
is.
point there.
Well, not a perfect figure, but I still think not a deal breaker because most
No,
of you are
not
going
at
to
all.
just have the
I want
masked
it.
version
I still want
anyway. I think this looks really cool too. Like the detail in the teeth looks awesome.
yeah.
I love the mask, and then the lenses on the eyes look great too. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about this one, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, what else did happened recent? Oh boy, this happened. Now I caught a little bit of flack in my Discord because I said this was not a good announcement, and some people like it when more power to everybody that does. I I don't know what to say, guys. Anybody gonna gun for this one? I know Steve is, but anybody here tonight gonna be going for this? It's a lot of silence.
No, but I will agree with your Discord. This is actually a really cool figure. This is a really cool figure. I was watching Connor's stream yesterday, Hot Toys Hotline. Shout out to him, and they were discussing this as well too. And honestly, you know, with just having some perspective and just having some time to kind of absorb the debacle that I feel and really injustice we have with this Galen Urso situation, this is the perfect celebration figure. I really feel like in my heart of hearts, like this makes more sense as an exclusive. It's not a throwaway exclusive. I feel like this kind of encapsulates Star Wars Celebration Japan, right? And having a figure like this at Celebration and getting it in your hands here, I feel like, and I kind of put it in the same kind of words as well too on Connor's stream when I left the comment, that like it just screams like you had to be there to get this kind of figure.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
The Galen situation, like it's a different vibe. It's just like you gotta be there to get this figure.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's same words but totally different tone to it there. So I feel like for this one here, like I think it's awesome. I think it's very beautiful. It's definitely not going to be for everybody, but that's the point of it being limited, and that's exactly why you should do limited, not because everybody wants it and then you make it to where nobody can get it. That's stupid. But this right here, if I was to attend Star Wars Celebration, this would instantly be in my radar as a pickup, because this would be, you know, this would be memorabilia for, you know, a trip that I took, an experience that I had, right? But is it something like, does everybody want this? No, of course not. But for the people that are going to be in attendance there, I think this is the perfect thing to grab when you're there.
Well said. Well said. And I agree. Like, it represents Japan and stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. I just don't, and I'm not everybody, but I wouldn't want this in my collection. I wouldn't know how to display it. It looks cool, like the way that it's been screen printed on and everything. It looks great, but like, it's Star Wars. It's a stormtrooper. Like, I don't want him wearing a robe and having the cherry blossoms on there. Like, I don't know. So like, I get it. Like, some people like to collect variants, or if you're going, you know, makes sense. But I would have liked to see something maybe incorporated a little bit better, like either Queen Amidala or Padme, and then she comes with like an accessory that's like more like Japanese style that you can kind of interchange. Like, I don't know, like, to me. But then again, I wouldn't want that to be necessarily limited, like, because you know that's a main character. So I totally understand that too. It's just, I just thought it was kind of silly because it's not something that I feel like is practical. But I do understand if you're going there, like, it could be something that, yeah, you could remember the trip by. What do you think though, Brick, about the actual exclusive part of it? Because isn't it just the backdrop? The change in backdrop is the exclusive part, if I'm
so that's what I'm hearing, is that in order to get that, you have to be there at the I mean, again, I'm with DLO. I mean, I wouldn't want this figure unless I actually went to the Star Wars Celebration. If I went to the Star Wars Celebration, I'd really consider, like, okay, I could say I was there. I've got this figure. It's almost like getting a coin or like a postcard or whatever, something special that you found while being on this trip to Japan. It is silly. I think it is somewhat silly figure, but I think that's what, you know, there's a lot of meaning behind it too. And I think that's what makes it so special to come home with something like this. Now, I would have to be a huge Trooper fan in order to get this figure by not going to the Celebration. I would have to, like, say to myself, I need every Trooper that's ever made, right? Like, if they came out with a Spider-Man figure with cherry blossoms on it, you know, for like a Marvel Celebration and you know, in Japan, then yeah, that's different. But it's just not really for me. It's a little goofy. It's understandable, but I'd have to be there to get it.
So OG fan says he believes it's the backdrop and then the robe is the
correct,
the exclusive part. So you do get the robe.
Okay.
Adam, what do you think? Would you ever want your stormtrooper wearing a robe, or could you see yourself ever getting something like this?
This came out on Sunday night. I was on the Movie Canon Geo's channel, and you know, all of a sudden I think on the chat, someone said announcement for Celebration. So I'm, as Gio was loading it on to the to StreamYard to put it up, I'm looking on my phone, and my initial reaction was I started chuckling and I said, WTF, WTF. I was not too keen on this when I initially saw it. But I have to say, in the last couple of days, as I thought about it, I think DLO very nicely crystallized what this is. It's a perfect, as DLO said, it's a perfect exclusive that if you travel to Japan to the Celebration, you get something that's culturally appropriate for Japan that you can have on your shelf as a nice conversation piece. Someone's going to look at it, visit your home, and they're going to see your collection, and they're going to ask you, "Hey, Adam, what's this from?" And you say, "Well, I went to Star Wars Celebration in Japan," and that's a nice conversation piece. If I didn't go there, which I'm not going, I guess if you wanted to get an exclusive from Japan, it would be cool. But if OG Fan is correct and the robe is unobtainable unless you show up in Japan, I don't see what the value is of it. Because to me, you got to have the robe. That's 90% of the figure.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say on this is that I think this is the right type of exclusive to have. It's something that's appropriate to the venue, that you might give some people outside of the convention a chance to have, but it's a figure that's just a repaint, somewhat of a retool. It's not a character like Galen Erso that many people have been, myself included, have been clamoring for some time. And to give just 1,500 of those Galen Ersos and say lots of luck, maybe they don't say anything whether they're going to come out with another figure or not. We hope that they're going to come out with another version of that. I assume they're going to, but this is the right type of exclusive in my view.
You guys remember what the number is on this one?
15.
Is it 15 as well?
Yeah.
I don't mean to be that guy, but there's certain pictures where I don't know if it's a pedal or what, but it's right on the crotch. Right. It just, if you go back, you guys will know what I mean. It's
I don't want to be that.
I don't know, like it shouldn't be there. It should just be all white there.
Okay.
Like right there. Like why has it got to be right there on the tip there? I don't know. It just bothers me.
What's wrong with it?
It's an eyesore, okay? It's an eyesore.
I don't want to be that guy, but here it goes.
But here it goes.
Oh, Rick. Don't ever change.
Try not
obviously, it comes with like a darker gray shoulder plates and whatnot. I think design-wise, it is pretty cool. But yeah, like obviously, it's not something that I would need or want in my display. And yeah, I'm not upset about it. I just thought it was pretty silly as well. But it does embody what Japan is, so totally get that. And I am glad it's not something else that I would want that I can't get. So there is that as well. But yeah, just interesting. Would you rather have something like this be the exclusive, or something like just for an example, like Sideshow's doing the Scum and Villainy line with some real like background characters? Would you rather something like that came from Hot Toys, or would you rather have this and just not worry about even trying to get it?
I'd rather have this and not worry about trying to get it.
Yeah, same. I mean, like I said, my attitude is different between releases, Urso and this here. Urso, obviously, when we talked about it, you remember how upset I was about that, because I mean, like Adam, I've been looking forward to that figure for some time now. Now, granted, it should still be limited, but I think it should be more worldwide limited as opposed to how they have it structured over there in Japan for Celebration. This here, like I said before, it's the perfect one to commemorate your trip to Japan and to go to Star Wars Celebration. Like that is perfect for that there. And honestly, I wish for any other future celebrations they do something traditional like this. Like make this a tradition, like wherever country you're going to be in for Celebration, do something to honor
us
that
both,
country and make a
baby.
stormtrooper like that. I think that's a cool way to have a collectible line, because there's going to be those diehard people that go to Celebration every time, and that's a cool thing to just constantly have
There
in
you
your
go.
in your pickup in your collection. And you have a really unique piece there, compared to some other people. But I think that's the way you go with that there. Whatever that country you're visiting, make a stormtrooper to commemorate that trip, something like that. That's cool. But getting
Man.
important characters, that's don't do that. Don't do that. I'll find you, Howard.
People that can go to
Mess you
all
up.
of the celebrations, man. Whew. That'd be nice.
Well, it's
Yeah,
at
good
that point,
point, Dilo.
if they had a stormtrooper, if they had a celebration in New York City, you could have one with the Yankees, on it, or
Statue of
the
Liberty.
logo,
Something.
Statue of Liberty. Yeah,
A hot dog.
yeah.
On his
gosh.
pee-pee.
Chopped cheese.
On his pee-pee.
On his pee-pee. Yeah.
Pastrami sandwich.
There you go. There you go.
You'll be in Wisconsin and get cheese head.
Taxi
He
checkers.
said, yeah.
Get him a pizza. Put a pizza
Or
on it.
Philly cheesesteaks or something on from Philadelphia.
There you go. Liberty Bell.
Liberty. Right on his
On his
pee-pee.
pee-pee.
On his pee-pee.
OG fan has the info for us. He says 1K Japan, 1,500 worldwide, 2,500 total, I believe. Is it? So is it 1K Japan? We should probably just look, but I just want to make sure. What do you think about those numbers, if those are true, relative to Galen? Pretty much being less,
Galen being less or this being less?
with Galen being less.
I mean, then that tells me that it's not as exclusive they're making it out to be. They have some other kind of plan for it. For Galen, that is.
Yeah, we're gonna get a different version of that. Of him.
Different
'Cause,
version,
I mean-
or will they pull the rug from under us and just give us a different accessory?
Yeah,
or take an
without
accessory
like
away?
yeah, right. I could definitely see. I mean, they created a head sculpt compared to just giving us a stormtrooper. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna design a head sculpt and make it limited like that for only Japan. No way.
Maybe the sticker on the box is different. The one says
Ooh,
Japan
right.
exclusive.
Gosh.
That's a great
the
idea.
other one just says limited edition exclusive. I don't know.
OG fan's right though. 2,500, 1K for the Japan celebration, then 1,500 without
Mhm.
the robe, if you will, and the backdrop. So this is the normal one. It's just got the Death Star, and then the other one actually has Star Wars Celebration on it.
With the robe.
Now, one thing about
Cardboard.
the robe, I remember on the other night, X-Man Supreme actually had a good idea. He said he'd like to get this to take the robe and put it on Deadpool, and I think that
There you go.
There you go.
That'd be great.
There you go. That would be kind of cool. All right. Obviously, none of us are even going to attempt at this one. Am I correct? We're all passing pretty easily.
You would be
Pass.
correct.
PASS pass. But I don't think everybody on the panel is going to pass on this little gem that was dropped today. It's good to finally have a release, with some of these announcements. Let's get some of this stuff churning out here from the Hot Toys factory. So I'm in a conundrum as we look at these photos, and maybe you guys in the chat, maybe you guys in the panel can help me with this, but I have the first one from the Mandalorian series. I really like that one. I like the dark outfit on her. It's her first live action, but I like the head sculpt a lot better on this one. And I think it looks more like Rosario Dawson. And obviously Hot Toys being Hot Toys made it so that the headpieces aren't interchangeable with each other. So that's very unfortunate. Because otherwise I'd pull a deal and just kind of go on the open market and look for a head sculpt, and then boo bam, Bob's your uncle. I'd be done. But now I'm in a conundrum. So talk me through what you guys are going to do, because I believe you both have Mandalorian Ahsoka. What are you guys going to do? Are you getting both? Are you selling one, keeping, and then buying this one, keeping the one you got? What do you guys think about that?
Oh man. Oof.
And who will be using this head sculpt?
Goodness.
Goodness gracious me. That's beautiful, though.
Yeah, that one's beautiful. I like
I was gonna
that.
say, like, eh?
Yeah, it didn't change right away.
Yeah, it didn't change. Right. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that's a beautiful figure right there. However, as much as I would like to have this figure, I had to kind of go away from the Ahsoka line just because, like, when Ahsoka line first came out, I was like all over it. I was like, man, you know, maybe not 100% in, but like 50% in. I was really these figures, but then we got more Artisan, then we got Deadpool Wolverine, then we got like it is just nonstop. And for me, like, you know, Star Wars is kind of third on the list, unfortunately. You know, it's Marvel, DC, then Star Wars, unless it's like the prequels. I think she looks great. I do want her, but I'm good with my Ahsoka that I have from Mandalorian. I don't need to handle the stress with selling that one to get this one because I'm not going to have two Ahsokas. But yeah, I mean, I can definitely be honest and say this one looks better all around, except for that Terrifier head sculpt. My goodness, but you know, she looks great. I know when I see her on your shelf, Jedi, I'm gonna wish I had her, but I'm good with the Mando one.
Insinuating I'm picking her up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
This
guys
is
are
like part of the show where Jedi commits himself to buy something.
Oh,
We don't know
yeah.
what the segment is.
Spoiler alert.
This is the part. You guys are jerks.
We
Adam,
just
do you
know
have
you now.
the OG Ahsoka? The
Yeah.
Mando?
I do. It was probably the fourth or fifth figure I got, and it's a pretty good figure. I'm worried about those. You know, I have her arms in pretty much a museum pose because I read a horror story before I got it about, you know, the arms snapping when you bend them a certain way. So very careful with that figure. I'm not all in on the Ahsoka line. I'm partially in, and you know, I have Thrawn, I have Sabine, Balin, Chopper, and I have Hera and Shin Hati, whatever how you pronounce her name.
It's
Sounds
hot.
good to me.
I have them on pre-order. But to me, you know, I like Ahsoka. It's funny how this doesn't, the arms, you can't do the this pose, which is basically what she's looking like in about 60% of the show.
True.
But I don't. This is a figure. I think this, like Brick said, I do think this is a superior head sculpt than the first one. I think that base is very clean looking with the rock.
Yeah.
I love that base. That base is awesome. But I don't think I need two Ahsokas.
No.
I think one is good enough for me. If I was going to get a second Ahsoka, it's possible I might get the younger version that's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
From that flashback episode where she's with Anakin. So that one I might get.
Shit, I
If
forgot I
can
was
get-
getting that one too. So either way, I will have
I
two.
only think I need two Ahsokas. You know, an older one and the younger one. If I get the younger one.
You gotta
It's a
get the younger
great
one.
figure.
She looks great. Multiple purposes too. Clone Wars,
Yeah.
Ahsoka line. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let me check in here. AZ says, of course, the head sculpts are not interchangeable with the old body. You'll need a body swap to do that, but that might not be a bad thing because the old body was such a fragile figure when it comes to bending the elbows. I snapped mine. I had to get a new body and replace the arm. So, like, if they've fixed that now, that's definitely a big win too, and that is something to consider. Unless you really love this figure, and you know, maybe don't pose it that much, you know, then maybe it doesn't matter. But OG is going to stick with the Mando Ahsoka. D-Dot says one of the best head sculpts lately, in my opinion. Some of the photos almost look like actual photos of Rosario. We got Funky Cold Santa. This has been my most anticipated figure for this year. She is on the way from Hong Kong. Hong Kong pimps now can't wait. Metal joints on the body. Yeah, I mean, I think TBA is actually sold out of her already. I don't know if they'll get more in, but I did check and she's sold out. So people seem to want this figure. DLO, what are your thoughts on getting this, getting both? moving on from the Mando.
Yeah, that's not happening. I'm keeping both. I'm gonna get this one here. Like, I think for me, like, I found a new appreciation for Ahsoka, aside from her show, but also Rebels as well too. Because I was not a fan of early Ahsoka until like I had some perspective and watching her be grown up and watching the Artisan Rebels go through, and then obviously, you know, that amazing episode in Ahsoka with the flashback. I think it made me really like the character more than I really understood her back then. So I personally like the Mandalorian look for her. I really love that look. So it's going to be hard for me to part with it, but I can admit that figure has not aged well since it's been around. And honestly, like I'm gonna Frankenstein this over here. I'm gonna get this because this is fantastic. But I'm gonna Frankenstein this bad boy, and I'm gonna get a body, the new one. And I'm going to get the head sculpt, and I'm going to create my own version of how she should have looked like when I first got her. And I'm going to put in the time to do that because that's the kind of stuff I like to do. And I think it's going to look fantastic having both of them on the shelf over here. So for me, like this one here, coming home. It was always coming home. Now, as far as the Ahsoka line in general, because Brick put up a good point here, it's just like he was very big on the line. And a lot's happened since then. Brick's onto something because I'm on Sideshow and I'm looking through things that are available. Things are still available for pre-order, and everything Ahsoka line is still there, with the exception of the limited edition Zombie Death Trooper, right? And Merrick. Those are the only two things here. So, but everything else, Sabine, Balin, everything else is still there. And Anakin hasn't sold out. There's nothing screaming urgency for this line over here.
Right.
So I think this line is going to be one of those lines that if you're patient, you might be able to find deals on, because nothing's selling.
Is this one still in stock on Sideshow?
Sure is.
Okay.
Yep,
What's the price?
$305, and it's the most expensive figure in the line, by the way. This one here.
Yeah, because Hammer of God says so the backup on TVA. Jordan said so as well, but 2,600 Hong Kong plus his coupon code would take 100 off, so 2,500. I think that comes out to like 321 before shipping. So obviously, you get it a lot quicker. So maybe paying that extra 15, 20 bucks isn't that bad, but you could maybe play the long game on this one too. And I do think especially with the young one coming out too, you got the Mando one. I do think, like you said, she'll be able to be found at a decent price. Like, Balin was a hot release. You can find him for under retail, I think. Chopper, Thrawn is cheap. Like, everybody's like so excited. We're getting a 6-scale, live action Thrawn, and there he sits. Chopper, Hawk has Chopper right now for like $200. So like. These figures can definitely be had. So I don't know if I'd be in any rush. She does look great, but it's something to consider, I guess. Something to consider. I do like the Mando look, but I do like this head sculpt a lot better. And I do feel like the head sculpt is kind of the soul of the figure. I do think, though, the Mando one is a good Ahsoka figure. It's just, if you want a Rosario Dawson likeness, it is lacking in that department. So pick your poison, I guess. But yeah, anybody in the chat going to use this one? What's that, D'Lo?
Well, I was going to say I'm really bummed about that second head sculpt as well too, because it's not the prettiest, but it's better than the DX, in my opinion. It still looks like Rosario, not great, but it still looks like her more. And I was really hoping to not have to do anything wonky like I'm going to do to accomplish that look. I was hoping, like, just plop it on and it's the same process and we should be good to go. But the whole process of how it is now, it just feels like, man,
I don't like that new technology.
I don't see the benefit of those things. I don't see the benefit of that specific socket now that you have to put on the pegs.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's seriously, I just don't understand, like, what benefit is it going to cause, like, for you guys to make that little extra piece Like it pops off, it moves the eyes around sometimes. It just is very finicky.
Yeah, you
And
get
then-
the eyes just right, and you put it back on the neck, and it's like, oh,
Yeah,
well, now
then
it's
the eye
fine.
just suddenly decides to go this way when you
Yep.
had it just the way. So I mean, it's like I don't know, man. I don't understand. Like, if it's not broken, why fix that? Of all the things we asked you not to fix, why are you fixing something that needed to be fixed? In my opinion, there. But yeah, I
spent
don't know,
15
man.
I spent 15 minutes today with Deadpool on that issue of trying to, because I had to take the wrapper off the neck piece for the Ryan Reynolds head sculpt, and the eyes kept messing around, and I kept having to fix it and trying to get the neck connector in. It was a pain,
Yeah,
real pain.
yeah, they're annoying. Like I said, I haven't seen the benefit of those, quite honestly. And you know what's weird too is like you can't even go out there and buy them right on the secondary market if you wanted to even get that. Like, and if you do find them, you'll realize that everybody has a different socket. It's like it's not a universal one they use for every single one. So you got to get that very specific one in order to get that very specific look and kit bash wherever you have to kit bash. It's annoying. It really is. But yeah, all the same, I wanted to get this figure to upgrade my original Ahsoka, you know. But seeing as how, you know, I'm gonna have to go through a couple extra hoops to do it, it's gonna be more challenging because now finding both the body and the head is not only gonna be harder, but it's gonna be more expensive as well too. So kind of lame. Kind of wish they would just leave it alone and just let you do what you want to do with your figures. But for this figure itself, like if you watch Rebels, like this is what she looks like in Rebels. So at least at the end of Rebels. So I mean, I think
Spoiler,
it's
dude.
shut up. You know damn well. But anyways, I think it's a solid figure. I
Does
like
she have
that
the
we're gonna
double
get the
Ds?
USB.
Gosh.
She's got the USB lightsabers. That's a nice added addition from the original there.
The letters. the
Reinforced
letters.
metal joints is a big plus because the body was messed up on the first one. So yeah, and the base is nice too. I think they put a nice base to it too. So all in all, I'm gonna pick this one up, but I'm gonna wait for a deal. I'm at this point, I've just kind of got in my head like these figures are all gonna be discounted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then too, I think was it people are talking about, you know, season 2. You probably get an Ahsoka then too, so there might even be another one to kind of cannibalize all these other ones too, where there's just gonna be so many to choose from. Could it be like another Mandalorian thing where you see that figure for super cheap? Not saying they're bad figures because they are not, but because there's so many variants, you know, there's just no value in it anymore. So I just wonder if we get to that point.
We got a new mall.
Mm-hmm. We got a
What?
new mall. Yep.
Is it a one I'll like?
Right
I don't know. Possibly.
Looks pretty sweet.
Probably not.
Concept art.
Okay.
See?
No, I'm just taking it in. I'm just taking it in.
Why don't you share with the class?
Let's
Everybody
go there
can see that.
together. Okay, guys.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Phantom Menace.
This is an
concept.
exclusive.
Yeah, I think
Let's
so.
see here.
Yeah.
1,000 units available in Japan, and then 1,500
Oh,
select channels.
wait, is
Okay,
this
See
another
any cherry
celebration?
blossoms on his
Yes, so
coat.
it's another celebration.
You mother effers.
Uh-oh.
I feel like I
Kilo's
had a
dead.
3 3/4 inch version of this back in like 15 years ago from Hasbro.
What is that on his head? Is that like string that he tied around
Yeah, he's got like
David Groot's
yeah.
thrown out of his head.
in a weird kind of way? The hell?
One then on his cheek too. What's going on there? Right
That's
there.
on his cheek too. What the heck?
Oh, whatever that. Yeah, a horn there.
No, I think it's just a bad picture.
That's
This is eating a donut and he got the powder on him.
It's a bad angle. It's not there in the other pictures.
it's a mole.
Oh, that's
Mole,
weird.
mole. Huh. Does anybody know what's going on here?
It's like he's tying his horns together.
Well, I don't.
The armor looks cool. Like I need an explanation here. Is this like the armor looks dope?
Okay, so reimagined appearance of Darth Maul in his training suit during his days as an apprentice to Darth Sidious. This expertly crafted
Okay.
figure departs from his original black and red contrasting look, instead The apprentice costume appears in a bright khaki color, providing a refreshing change for Darth Maul. This meticulously crafted collectible figure features a newly developed head sculpt with string details on the horns with separate rolling eyeballs, the iconic double-bladed lightsaber with LED light-up function, and a figure stand, an exclusive Japan edition. Again, 1,000 units, and then the 1,500. Okay. All right, let's go back. Let's go back and check this out. Head sculpt itself looks really good, though.
Is it the same 1 gram? You had the other one, right, to review?
Is this from a video game or a comic?
It just says concept art. It kind of creeps me out a little bit.
The horns, man, they're throwing you
Look
off.
at these. Coming out of the side of the neck. But yeah, the horns kind of creep me out.
Are the horns on the new 2.0, are they sculpted into the sculpt, or are they like, do they look like they've been glued on, like from your memory? Because I don't have mine in hand yet. Because this looks like the same exact sculpt.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I don't remember. Let's go watch my video.
The horns remind me of like a kid's bike helmet. You ever seen some kids with bike helmets and they have like the spikes on the top of it?
Yeah.
Just for some reason, because they look different than Darth Maul's usual horns.
They look like.
You guys ever see little monsters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
there you go.
The broken horn.
There it is.
The size kind of reminds me of that, and then this just kind of reminds me like he's growing some sort of fungus on his head. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm digging that. Kind of isn't something I like looking at. But let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Mr. J says, "What the fuck is this?" Gentle Giant made a bust of this. Okay. Additional special box sleeve is the only difference from the Japan version. Thank you for that info, Hammer of God. OG fan says, "This is interesting. I have this in the art book. Pretty cool." Jazzy says, "The Fook?" That is dope, but never made it to the screen, so I really need it / want it. Matt says an easy pass. Tighter says this is a pass. Never saw this concept art.
The lightsaber is interesting. On one of the pictures where it shows the box, the lightsaber is like a blade. I mean, it's the shape of it's very different. I haven't seen the lightsaber like that before.
Okay. Honestly, I'm digging everything except for the head sculpt. Like, if it was the normal head sculpt, I think I would really like this. The horns. Can anybody in the chat explain why the horns are like that and why he has the rope around? Like, I just don't know. Maybe, I don't know enough about it. And I know for sure that Jazzy doesn't know enough about it. So let's educate some people here. He thinks it's a little pee-pee on the top of his head, which I don't think is correct, but nonetheless, it's still funny as hell. Hammer of God says, "My wallet is safe." Yeah, mine too. But I do think a lot of people are going to want this, being that it's Darth Maul. What do you think about this as an exclusive? Do you guys think this is another? We were just talking about the Stormtrooper. Do you think this is a good type of exclusive? It's a prominent character, but at the same time, I don't know if this is something everybody's going to want. It's not the iconic look for sure, and it's really not even screen accurate. So,
yeah, I think this is totally appropriate as an exclusive because again, it's a character that's been produced many times. What, 4 times before? In Hot Toys, am I right in that? The Clone Wars, the Solo, and then 1.0 and 2.0 of the Phantom Menace. So you have access to this character if you want a more traditional version. Again, unlike Galen or so, who we've never had before, this is a character that if you can't get this exclusive, you still can get a Darth Maul. So yeah, I think this is the right type of exclusive. Sure.
The one thing I will say though, for people like DLO, because I see his gears going right now, Darth Maul, the new one, and the old one, but the new one comes with 2 great head sculpts. So if you were to pay up and get this, and then put the angry head sculpt on this, or whatnot, you might be up to something there too. I don't like the top of the head.
So this is original concept from episode 1. And this was in the running, almost finalized for this. I'm just briefly researching here.
Okay.
Artist Ian McKegg designed this over here.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, basically, this is what Marvel was going to look like up until we got the final product in episode 1. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. A couple sketches, nothing too profound to really go off of and talk about, but that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if it's something that warrants a purchase now, but I gotta say, like, seeing as how Maul is always such a dark figure, always wearing dark clothing and all that stuff, the contrast to his new color armor, it looks really nice. And the armor itself, like the gauntlets, the legs, it looks really cool.
It's got like, pitting,
yeah,
all that stuff going on in there. It looks great.
But honestly, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting piece, and I kind of am with you here, Jetty. Like, the only thing that throws me off that I'm not crazy about is the horns on this head sculpt. Like,
yeah,
I think it would look way better with the 2.0 head sculpt on there, but
I get what they're going for here.
Yeah, but I get it. I 100% get it, though. It looks really cool. I just don't
DLO,
know.
this will get you. All figures announced except Galen will be available in select markets. # Justice for Galen.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Adam, are you going for that Galen figure no matter what?
Not no matter what, but
okay,
I go for it.
But you won't like pay astronomical
no
amount for it, will you?
Not paying Artisan Anakin price. No. I'm tapped out for a bit, but
this looks cool, but
I don't hate it. I really dig the color. That's what's really drawing me to it there. Because this will pop in the case here, because like I'm having trouble displaying mine right now because my Module case backgrounds are all black, and he kind of blends into the background a lot. This stands out a lot more.
Looks like he has like football pads on.
A little bit. It looks like he's got some sort of like face hugger coming out of his neck. But my question is, would you want this more if it was readily available? And you could easily get it. Like, would you go for this and then use the secondary head sculpt and have 2 Mauls? Or do you want this more now because it's like limited? Like, or neither, I guess. But like, would you still want this if it was just a normal release and you readily available? You don't have to pay an astronomical number for it. Is this something you guys would maybe go for?
Probably not. I don't really need. I mean, it's cool. It's cool that they're doing stuff like this, concept arts. I'd love to see this with some other figures. I love Darth Maul, but I don't need a Darth Maul that wasn't cool enough to make it to the screen. You know what I mean? Like, I want the Darth Maul that we know about, that we fear, that looks badass, and this one is like the almost there Darth Maul. So it's cool that they're doing it, but I don't need them either way.
Yeah, I think something like this is unique because for most common Star Wars collectors, like some people don't even know that he popped up in Clone Wars and Rebels, and he has an entire backstory. And some people haven't even seen Solo. So literally, for most common Star Wars collectors, they know him as Episode 1. So for them, this seems like a complete confusing like thing at all to be putting out there. So I think this one, it should be limited. I think it's the right call to make this one limited over here. I just don't think this one is going to be an absolute like must have for most people. I really don't. So I mean, again, also too, as much as I like it now, I'm talking about favoritively right now because I'm excited we got a new release. Like, I'm being completely transparent about my feelings. Like, I have no idea about the small. I have no idea the value the small holds to me personally. All I know is that from what I can Google search real fast, it was a concept art that didn't make it, like Brick said. So, and if you're looking to get one mall in your collection, I don't know if this one beats the 2.0 that's available for you to purchase. So it's a tough one. It's you're just gonna have to sleep on it and decide it for yourself if this can be for me. I know myself well enough that like once the adrenaline wears off of the excitement of this new announcement, I'm probably not gonna buy this.
I agree. I think the art box looks great, by the way. I like that design. But not needed, not needed. I'm good with the iconic mall, that 2.0 that we're getting. Separate rolling eyeballs. But yeah, I think it is the same head sculpt. It's just modified. And there you have it. Plain Jane base. Hey, but at least it's not one of them large triangular ones.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. Light up function powered by USB. Well, there you have it. I gotta end this poll. Oh gosh, everybody's saying I'm predictable, so I'll be getting Ahsoka. You are all probably right. Will Jedi pick up Ahsoka? Yes, he's predictable, 74%. No, he's too strong and will resist, 25%. I appreciate that. Thank you. Brick, I know you got to get going. You got to get some sleep. If you want to just plug your channel, let us know where we can find you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. Obviously, Wolfpack Wednesday. Always feel bad leaving early. But yeah, just be trying to do this, at least getting an hour in. Luckily, I was able to get almost an hour and 45 minutes in tonight. So, but I got Bugle 6 on Saturday, 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern time, and just put out a review on Spider-Punk. So take a look at that. It was a lot of fun reviewing that figure, and that's pretty much it going on right now. I got some plans in the near future, and yeah, just enjoying the community and having fun on Instagram right now with some shorts or reels, whatever they call it on there, and not going to get this figure. And to answer that question real quick, this or the Stormtrooper, if you have to pick, from Clinton Martin, I would if I went to the celebration, I would choose the Cherry Blossom. If I had to choose one of them, not going to celebration, I'd choose them all. But I'm not getting any of them.
That was helpful. Hope that cleared up your answer.
Easy answer. Easy answer.
There you go.
But no, I appreciate you guys. You guys have a good rest of the stream, and yeah.
Sounds good, buddy. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you later.
Thanks, broski.
Have a good one.
Too sweet to you.
Too sweet. Good stream with you, Adam.
Same here.
Peace.
Oh, and then there were three. What do you guys think?
Thought that guy would never leave.
Gosh, read the room. If you guys have to pick, would you rather have the Stormtrooper or the Maul?
I would go with the Stormtrooper if I was going to Celebration, because that says I went to Japan. It's the cherry blossoms. It's the kimono. That's the conversation piece. I went to Japan.
What if you're not going, though? What if you could just pick one of these? Would that factor in?
Yeah, if I had to pick one, it would be, if I was going to pick one, I would be the Stormtrooper. Because again, there's even if I didn't go, there's a story to tell. Oh, you know what? This is actually 1,500 were made, or whatever the number is, 1,000, 2,500 from Celebration Japan. It was an exclusive. So I got a little story to tell. I mean, you have a story to tell with this. You can say it's the concept art of Darth Maul, and a lot of people know who Darth Maul is. You do have a story to tell with this, but I think the Stormtroopers, to me, a little more interesting.
Sure. What you, D-Lo?
Kind of more of like if I was there, I would get the Trooper. But you got to remember, if I'm not there and I pick up the Trooper, I'm not going to get the kimono, right, with that one over there, and I'm not going to get the background. So in a way, I feel like in a way I'm kind of faking it. And I'm not saying anybody who picks up is, but for me personally, it's kind of like, it's like the consolation prize because I wasn't there. I got the inferior copy, if that makes sense for anybody there. But if it came down to having to pick between one or the other, the tiebreaker is the cool factor. And I think this Maul is cooler than the Blossoms Trooper. If I'm not in Celebration, if I'm in Celebration, it's that all day, because that makes sense. Like, and it'll be a perfect story, like you kind of mentioned, Adam, earlier, you know, a conversation piece. But this here, going toe to toe with them there, from the unique and cool factor, I got to give the edge to Maul. I mean, we've never seen any Maul like this before. And when you take away the whole part of it being a commemorative because you were in Japan thing, this one blows it out the water.
It is cool, but that Stormtrooper's got the Netflix and chill factor. You know, he's got the cool kimono on.
The Netflix and chill factor about him there. Let me pour some wine.
I think I would go with the Maul too, because I'd probably just drop this head sculpt and put the new one like the angry one or something on. And then I just feel like I'd be able to use this more in the display. So, and I think it looks cool. It's just not. It's not something I need, but it's something that I can admire for what it is. Yeah, just kind of weird too. The special commemorative box sleeve, and then I'm assuming the stand, just because they're showing this one here. So you get the round stand. So that'd be the only difference.
Yeah, good point there, Honest Hansel. Let's put a poll up. Let's see what the folks think about this one here.
Picking between the two?
Picking between the two. We got 65 in the chat. Let's see how many votes we can get on this here.
So is that round stand just for Japan?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh.
Yep, it is definitely a Japan exclusive piece right there.
All right. Concept Mall or Cherry Blossom Trooper. Let the mob decide.
Choose wisely.
Choose wisely. Interesting. That's cool that we were live though, and we got to talk. Or neither. Yeah, Joe says or neither. You got to pick one. That's the punishment.
Punishment.
Yeah, hopefully around like May the 4th and whatnot, though, we get like actual like, and I know I always get excited every year because I'm like, oh, hopefully we get this, hopefully we get that. But man, I could really use some cool new stuff. You know, I know Revenge of the Sith is anniversary date this year, so I'm sure we'll get a couple there. But you know, we already got the TIE Fighter pilot, so we're probably only due for like one more OT figure this year, which is really sad.
I hope if it is one, dude, my eye is on freaking Luke Red Leader episode 1. I want him.
That'd be cool.
I want him in his X-Wing outfit. I want X-Wing. That's what I want.
I think,
and that would be cool if those were the two ones we got this year. TIE Pilot and X-Wing cool. Luke. That's kind of cool. That's really cool. I would dig that a lot.
I'm just to the point where I want something different. Like I have more Lukes than I have Batman figures. So like I wouldn't mind just something we haven't gotten before. But
Gamorrean Guard. Yeah.
Found one on Sideshow I can pick up for a good price. The back of his vest has a couple cracks that the guy has sealed up, but it's like, I don't know if I want to mess with that. Plus, being such an old figure, do you really want to spend money on something where
you do it all the time anyways? Like, what difference?
No, not that old. That's like 2007 old or 2010, something like that.
Adam, what do you think, man? What would you like OT to come out, man?
Listen, if they came out with Bespin Han, you know, take me away. Calgon, take me away.
You're getting Return of the Jedi. You instantly want a Bespin right away, man?
Yeah.
You want to let it breathe in, you know, take it in a little bit,
yeah.
Man?
I mean, it's more Han is more Han, you know?
All right, fair enough. I'm not mad at it.
Give me Hoth Han. You know,
I'm a big Han guy, so I'm with you as well too. But okay.
In fact, I admire you have a custom you put together.
Yes, Old Faithful.
I saw your videos, and that's amazing. I admire that one.
Yeah, that one. That's my pride and joy. I'm quite proud of that one. Literally, I painted and dyed things on that thing. Things I never thought I'd do in my life. I've done for this hobby. Yeah, I'm not even
be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, I'm not sure anything will be better than what you did.
I appreciate that. I mean, I'm sure Hot Toys will blow it out the water whenever they decide to make it there. But yeah, it has been a phenomenal stand-in for me for years. So very proud of that piece.
OG fans, right though. Like I actually do consider when I look at my collection, I'm like I do have technically a Empire Strikes Back Han. Is the Han
That's
and
fair.
Carbon.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, what about? I know you're talking about X-wing Luke, but what if? And again, it's a 2.0, so it's not something totally different. But what if they 2.0'd that A New Hope Luke? Would that be something you guys would be game for?
Yes, because I could, and I wouldn't sell my New Hope Luke. I would maybe just put the hat on him.
There you go.
I would,
or even the helmet, the training,
or the helmet.
too.
Yeah.
Either way.
So yeah, definitely. And what we talk about the celebration figures that are coming out now. I think the next celebration is in 2 years, which is the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, of A New Hope.
50.
Just imagine what the exclusives are going to be for that celebration, which
Everything
I'm
Chrome,
hoping that's going to be here in the
Chrome
US.
Vader.
Gold Vader.
Chrome
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, you bet it. We're laughing now, but we're gonna look back and it's like, shit, we called it. They did it.
Clip that, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're now itching closer and closer to May 4th. Anniversaries are coming up here, so obviously our anticipation and excitement for what's possible, and possibly our disappointment as well too, because we always wish more than what we actually get from these announcements over here. Does anybody want to take a smart guess what we'll get? It may not be necessarily what you want, but what do you think
we're
we're
talking
going to
OT
get?
or just Star Wars in general?
Star Wars in general, like between now and May 4th.
I think an Andor figure. I do think we're going to get a Cassian Andor figure.
Ooh, good.
Because Galen is an exclusive. I think they're in Andor season 2 is coming out in a couple weeks. I think we're going to get that Cassian Andor.
Adam with a great pick right off the top. Okay, I like that, Adam. Good call. Jetty, what do you want to throw in the ring? What do you think we're going to get? That's an easy
I do think
pick.
I do think a Luke is likely. The fact that they did that Artisan Luke, I don't know. I just feel like the head sculpt's not necessarily the same, but I feel like they still could squeeze more money out of the Bespin, out of the Mando Luke head sculpt, but then maybe even still do like Artisan, go that route.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like if we're gonna get an OT, it's more likely they're gonna give us now that they've given us the TIE Fighter, maybe something of more an iconic character. But obviously, I think we're gonna get a couple things from Revenge of the Sith too.
Yeah, I think that's where my head is at. Like honestly, I think we're gonna get a give me over here, and maybe not everybody's gonna want it, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna get Episode 3 Darth Vader, Revenge of the Sith Darth Vader.
But
maybe I don't know if it comes to the table, but I think maybe come with like the cuffs on the arms. They rips off when he's on the table. Some things like that. I don't know. They'll go that far.
You know what they'll do?
I feel like they'll
look just like Rogue One, but they'll do the suit in like a nylon material or something like that. That's what's going to be the catch, because everybody would. Because what do you do with Vader to make him different that people will still want? And that alone has been something people have been crying for a long time, is get rid of the pleather. So I don't even think you have to do anything. You just brand the box, Revenge of the Sith. You do the different suit material, and boom, people are going to be all over it. I would be.
Yeah.
Get one.
I think what they can do too is they can give you a full burnt up Anakin head sculpt along too. Because remember, the whole part of that scene is where he massively becomes Vader, and suddenly like you lose Anakin, and then you just see Vader. I think that head sculpt would come into it there, similar to how we got it with Return of the Jedi.
Because isn't the battle damage considered? Isn't it the likeness off of Christian Haydenson?
Yeah,
Anakin?
correct.
So you pretty much already have it.
Bingo. You put it together. Look at that. We CSI'd this shit. We got that.
Well, we've been collecting long enough to know what Hot Toys does. It's
they'll recycle, but that's a cool recycle though. I would buy that though. Nylon suit, Anakin head sculpt, battle damage already. Let's go. I would get that.
How about a recycled Attack of the Clones Yoda, and the base kind of retool the what they're doing for the battle damaged Darth Vader and the Darth Malgus, but turn that into a pod from the Senate chamber, because that could go
Ooh.
complementarily with the Darth Sidious that's coming out this year.
That's true.
Look, Adam is spitting some game tonight, man. Shout out to Adam. Wow.
Hey,
There you go. Good stuff, man. Good
kind of
stuff.
looking forward to that Sidious. I might pick that one up.
Yeah. You guys got to get that Palpatine from Clone Wars. I'm telling you, people are sleeping
that's a
on
great
that one. It is so good.
And I have him as Palpatine because I have the Emperor from Return of the Jedi, and I have Sidious on pre-order. I just have him with the hood down, just as the Chancellor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the same way I want to pose him as well too. I actually took his accessories, the electric cans that he comes with, and put them on my my Return of the Jedi one. So yeah, it's a great piece. I love that one. So glad I picked that up.
It is something I've considered, and Hawk definitely knows that. He was trying to get me to pick one up, but just with everything else coming out, I've kind of put that one on the back burner too. That might be for like a rainy day down the road when I'm bored.
Yeah, that one you can get for a pretty good price. I didn't even pay full retail for mine when I got it. So
yeah,
And we're probably due for a Yoda because that Attack of the Clones Yoda came out a few years ago, right?
Yoda would be
Yeah,
a nice
been
one to
out
have
for
as
a
well
bit.
too, for sure. For sure.
Mm.
Yeah, there's some. I mean, listen, there's so much. I mean, I recently watched Return of the Jedi. I'm sorry, excuse me, Revenge of the Sith. I'm begging pardon. Recently, just because my kid likes to use the fake lightsabers in the house now. He found them. He found underneath his bed, so he wants to duel me all the time now, and he thinks he's so good at lightsaber fights. And I was like, you don't understand what a good lightsaber. So instantly, I put on Duel of the Fates, and then I showed him the fight of Revenge of the Sith here, and this kid's just like, okay, I should practice. I should probably practice a little bit there. His confidence went down pretty fast once he saw those there. But kind of like you, Graham, that's how I kind of initiate my kid into watching more Star Wars and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that they don't miss out on anything decent for this next anniversary, because they tend to really be underwhelming when it comes to what they actually give us for May the 4th, and always the expectations so high. So last year was a good surprise. They did Tales of the Dark Side and stuff like that, and we really got a lot of good ones. Chewie, thank you. So I'm hoping they realize their money's coming up and they better swing hard, and we better get some good shit.
The issue is a lot of the times too in the past, what they've done is just rebrand it, like Vader and Boba Fett. So that's kind of scary. So that's why I'm thinking like you said, we get our hopes up, and somebody said it in the chat too. I think it was Hansel said, they usually drop the ball on anniversary events, and it's usually because they're just going to rebox something and give it to you. So I do worry about that a little bit, but unless it's a Royal Guard, but if you want to Revenge of the Sith Royal Guard, sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's always possible there. I mean, I can't think of the guy, but he showed up in the animation as well, but he was the right-hand man to Palpatine in the Senate.
Masameda.
Yes, thank you. That would be pretty cool for something like that to pick up for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, and I've always wanted that Obi-Wan from Episode 2. That's my goated version of Obi-Wan, but yeah, we'll see if they ever get around to that. Maybe Mace Windu gets a 2.0 with Purrs.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the most likely thing, like with Vader, or Mace or some of these other characters. We're gonna have seen them already, but they're gonna have these new features. They're gonna have the new head to neck connection. It's gonna be minor stuff because that's typically what they do. But then you got the TIE fighter. They might give you something else from the prequels or whatnot. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. It's getting closer though. It's next month.
Yeah,
it's getting closer.
You think we get any more Artisan?
Probably. And Artisan's been tough to track. Like, are they doing Avengers? Are they doing, then they put in a little Pirates of the Caribbean, then they get the Luke from Star Wars and stuff like that. So, they're kind of just dabbling whenever and wherever they want. It's hard to kind of pinpoint that, but Artisan in general. Leia would be Leia?
The one with no. Well, yeah.
Never happened, bro. Let it go.
Probably not gonna happen. But no, the Leia in all whites from Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, escape. Best been escape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That one I forgot about, that they teased her, and that was a full tease too. She was in the actual image. But is it because you can already make that figure basically with two?
Hoth.
Which scares me. I hope she comes, because that would be a great figure to have. I mean, I have Hoth Leia now, but I would still get that one. And that's one of my favorite looks, honestly, with Leia. So I would like to see that one. But
Yeah.
and
That's
Artisan
good stuff,
actually
man.
would be pretty cool with that, with those braids. If they did Artisan Leia.
And I feel like that would be an easy artisan, like a safe artisan, because I know everybody's up in arms these days about, Joker this, Anakin that, and all this other stuff. But I mean, if you look at Leia, like she would be more like in keen with Jack Sparrow artisan,
Yeah.
Braided, it's glued on, you're not gonna play around, you're not gonna mess it up, you just don't touch it, it'll be fine. I think that'd be next level for her.
It depends on the price too, because like I've kind of come to the mindset that I'm kind of over like Artisan and what it is. Like, you guys have known me, I've always been kind of more on the sculpted side anyway. So like, I think especially when I need to see this Black Widow and I need to see Scarlet Witch before I have my final determination, because like the Joker and the Anakin kind of weren't cutting it for me. Like I feel like obviously Anakin, you didn't get a sculpted version, but I don't feel like it's head and shoulders, no pun intended, better than the sculpted versions, for what you're paying. And you're paying such a premium to get rooted hair, but it doesn't necessarily look better because it's something that you have to do yourself and get it to look right. So I don't know. Do you guys feel any different with like Artisan now than you did a year and a half ago when those figures were announced? Because it felt like a different line. It felt like it was going to be more premium. They were definitely saying it was going to be a premium price. And I get rooted can cost a few $100s, but just for me personally, I don't see the value in some of these figures where I could just get the sculpted Loki or get the sculpted Joker. Again, Anakin's a little bit different because you can't just fall back on something else unless you have the old one, which you'd have to be okay with. So I don't know, where are you guys with Artisan in general? Like, do you feel different now than you did a couple years ago in one way or another? Maybe you're more in the Artisan line,
I don't want you to take it first, man. I'm interested to know your perspective.
Well, part of it, I would say, check back with me in a couple days after when I get Artisan Anakin and see if I feel the same way. Because there was no option for Anakin to get it sculpted, I had to get the Artisan version of him. And I say Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker because they're just the same character.
Yeah.
Basically. They're, along with Luke, are my two favorite characters. So I had to have, as I said earlier, I had to have the Artisan Anakin. I haven't picked up any of the other Artisan figures yet or pre-ordered them. Just feeling the sole reason they're either they didn't speak to me, they're not characters I was that into, or I have other versions that are good enough for me. I will say let me amend that. It's not Artisan, but I do have the in-art Joker sculpted. And I have the Aragorn sculpted. I haven't unboxed that one yet. But to me, I guess my initial thought was, until I saw DLO the other day at Brick Show, do I want to futz with hair? Do I, I'm not a newbie anymore. I mean, I've been doing this for a year and a half. I don't know if that still qualifies. I don't have the experience you guys have. Certainly DLO has much more experience in the hobby than I do. But I'm not quite sure I'm a newbie anymore, but I'm still not at the point where I am confident in messing with the hair. So I for those figures, for those two in-art figures, I went with the sculpted. I didn't have the opportunity with Anakin. I don't know yet down the road. I think we got to see, I know there's some concern with Joker, but I think that's, that was a few instances. And I don't think that's indicative of that figure.
Sure.
Of how that going.
And don't hear what I'm not saying. That Anakin is definitely an improvement from the 1.0. It looks good, and obviously there was a drop off from the prototype, which it's all subjective on, is it too much of a drop off or is it just kind of in line? I don't see the value personally to pay an astronomical number, half a K basically for a figure. And that's if you get it for retail, just for rooted hair, when I can get sculpted. I'm looking at my Joker right now. I cannot tell if it's rooted or sculpted, and it looks the exact same. Everything's in place. I don't have to futz with it. I don't have to worry about it. I think Black Widow is going to be the final decision for me on, like, if I'm kind of leaving Artisan behind, because I don't really care about, let me know what you guys think too, but I don't really care about the limited number. I just want the character representation. It doesn't really matter if it's limited or not. I think the only limited figure I have is the D100 Iron Man, and I just love the paint scheme on that thing. So that's one of my favorites there. But I guess I thought, and maybe I was wrong, I thought when Artisan was like this new line, it was going to be like high-end rooted hair, like just all-in package. Like, we're going all in for the price that we're asking for these figures.
Leather stuff like that. Yeah.
If you want to say we're competing with InArt or not, whatever, but they were still answering the bell that InArt was kind of ringing there. So, like, I just don't see the value for me personally in most of these figures. Black Widow's not as bad because we're looking at under 400. But when we're getting to like Jack Sparrow being 500, Anakin being 500 plus, you know, and all these other things, I'm just like, I'm kind of drawing the line, especially when people, what we talked about at the beginning of the show, with prices rising, are more people going to tap out? I'm not tapping out, but I'm starting to say, look, I don't need Artisan because I'm perfectly happy with the sculpted stuff. Now, if they're going to do stuff like Anakin, I can miss out on. I'm okay with that. But if they do a figure that I can't miss out on, I might change my tune. So I guess it's a case-by-case basis for sure. Go ahead, DLO.
Yeah, no, this is a big deal. This is a big topic, and obviously, you know, what's crazy about it is just like how far we've come in so little of a time. Because I mean, we were talking about Artisan as the next big thing, you know, feels like less than a year ago, right? So, I mean, my stance on it has not changed. I've always been the one who's been like, hey, listen, guys, rooting isn't for everybody. It takes work. It's not going to be simple as like you just open up your figure like you do with sculpted and then it's going to be this amazing experience here. No, you kind of have to work on it there. It's, you know, it's almost like it's almost like how the statue people are a little bit in a way. They got to fuss with certain pieces to get certain parts of it to really shine the way it's meant to. Now, does that mean like, is Artisan now become a failure? I will argue up until recently when a few folks have made some posts to, I'm going to call it what it is, bash an otherwise great experience 99% of other people have had with their Joker, have made this into a bigger deal that quite frankly it is. There's no one has any other evidence besides a Joker. And, you know, you have Wonder Woman 100, who's been over a year old as a first example of an Artisan rooted style that hasn't had any issues. The Imposter, no issues. Jack, up to my knowledge, there's no issues. So I think right now, with what happened in that isolated situation with Joker, I think a lot of people are looking at that as an opportunity to tap out of Artisan.
Sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I want to be very clear. When I say tap out, I don't mean it in a disrespectful kind of way, but I feel like what a lot of people are feeling right now is that there's so much coming out and Artisan is so darn expensive. And Graham, you already highlighted like what you really get where Artisan is it really worth the extra money to pay when you get a sculpted one that you'd be pleasantly happy with? And I think a lot of that leads to the fact that I think a lot of people feel the same way you feel. And I think that, you know, with what happened recently, I think a lot of people are using it as an excuse to get out. And just, hey, and that's cool because honestly, I don't think Artisan was ever supposed to be for all of us. We were all excited about it. We were all pumped about it. And now that we're getting them in our hands, we're understanding that it's good, but in order for me to be great, I have to do stuff. And we're not used to that as collectors. We're used to it just like it comes in, this is the product. I pose it how I want it, and there it goes. Bam, there goes my perfect figure. I don't have to mess around with it. This, if you don't mess around with it, you may not like it. And if you mess around too much, you may not like how it comes out. So you might resent it. And that's why I've always said from the very beginning, like, listen, rooted is for certain circumstances. It is not for everything here. Short hair, sculpted all the way, all day long, right? You don't need to fuss around with, can you imagine fussing around with like a rooted buzz cut hairstyle character? How annoying that might sound to somebody. I know I would never pick up that figure.
One part of it is Hot Toys is their own worst enemy because they've done sculpted hair so well. It's
not a bad thing. That's all a positive thing. That's all a positive thing here. And I think this Artisan is a lesson to a lot of folks over here, where it's just like, you tried it, it may not be for you. Sculpted, there's no shame in going with sculpted. That doesn't make your figure any less because it is an Artisan. And I think that's what we were chasing. I think we were overall looking for, like, what is the best one out there? Well, it's got to be this Artisan one. That's not necessarily true. Not for everybody. For some people, you can't put a price on peace of mind. I don't have to mess around with this thing. That's invaluable to some folks. But as far as like Artisan rooting entirely, it was never mainstream. It was never meant to be mainstream. That's why it was limited from the first place. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing here now, because we're understanding now there's more than enough collectors who are more than satisfied with sculpted. And this just only cements up their feelings about that there, because it's a great experience if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, it's expensive and it's going to be frustrating. And that's what rooted hair has always been. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, I mean, is Artisan bad? No, of course not. I mean, if you're looking for the ultimate version of your figure, that's what Artisan is. Now, granted, I think we all came into Artisan thinking it was going to be more than just hair. It was going to be leather and, premium materials and die cast this and all that. We're clearly not getting that. So I think it really comes down to, now we know Artisan is just pretty much hair. And now you got to ask yourself, is that worth an extra $150 more to get that one there to you? Not everybody's going to say yes to every figure like that. But I will tell you here, Artisan on long hair figures, next level. Like, you do a Wanda, you do a Black Widow, you do something like that where it actually prevents the articulation from being terrible on a figure, that elevates it, right? But if you do short hair and like Moon Knight, I'm sorry, Moon Knight was one I saw. I was instantly like, listen, you gone too far.
That's right. I forgot about that one.
Spider-Man, I don't need Spider-Man with rooted hair. I don't need those guys. That's silly to me, right? But I mean, they tested out, they tried it because people were down for Artisan. But now that people are now seeing now, I think people are starting to realize that it's a lot more than what you bargained for. And that's nothing wrong with that. Sculpted is fantastic. I personally am a bigger fan of sculpted than rooted. I think rooted is necessary in some situations, but not every situation. And I think now that we kind of have these figures in hand, I don't think it's a jab at InArt or a jab at Hot Toys. I just think it's the process that, just quite frankly, it's just not for everybody. It's just some people prefer sculpted and some people prefer rooted. And I think now we realize more of us prefer sculpted than we do rooted. So, yeah.
I see the Artisan and kind of, along the lines of what DLO is saying, and I think he makes some good points. When we have people come visit our home and we show off our collection, family, friends, I don't know if you guys have experienced this. They come in, first they're kind of overwhelmed, and they look at the figures. And I'm talking with people who are not, maybe they might be into Star Wars, they might like the Marvel movies, but they're not us.
They're not like us, yeah.
They're not us,
right?
They're not our people. And they'll two things they'll catch their eye in my collection. They'll see the DeLorean, they'll see that right away, and then I have the Sideshow life-size Grogu. And they'll go to that. And then once they process those two large things in the collection, the largest items, that's the only vehicle I have so far. And that's the Grogu's pretty big item. Then they start looking around. And they'll ask me two questions. They'll say, Adam, what's your favorite figure? Or what's either, it's a variation of what's your favorite figure or what's the most special figure to you? And then the second question they'll ask, what's your most valuable figure? And sometimes, I don't know quite how to answer. The special one or favorite usually is pretty easy for me to answer. But the valuable, because depends, that depends on the week, depends on the day, right? But I think the Artisan, you could say, you can answer at least the special because it's limited. Say the Anakin or the Black Widow or some of the Joker. It's a limited edition. It's the hair is hand implanted. I think that's if it's a character that's special to you, don't get these things that are not special to you, please.
Right.
Don't do that. Get something that touches your heart. So if you have a character that touches your heart, that means something to you, and you get an Artisan figure, I think that's part of the explanation of that one or two characters of your entire collection that really means something to you.
Yeah, really well said. And you kind of mentioned like Wonder Woman was technically the first Artisan, even though she wasn't branded as it. But I think me being inexperienced thought this would be premium rooted material, but then seeing other collectors get her out of box, like you don't touch the hair, it's set how that it should be, and then you just don't mess with it. Like maybe it's just long-haired figures, I'm not really sure, but like I know people were like, man, she comes out of the box really good. I just feel like with at least the shorter haired, the Joker and then the Anakin, like it's harder to capture the likeness, and yeah, like you said, DLO, you really got to mess with it, and that's just not something that I want to do. So I'm cool with letting other people get those. Like at first Artisan was like something I'm like, oh, I gotta go after because it's so limited. Everybody's trying to go after it, so I have to as well. And I think Loki was the last one where I literally got in and I get the figure and I see the price. I pre-order Artisan because I'm like, I almost felt like I had to.
Obligated. Right. Yeah.
Obligated.
Yep.
But I'm like, I don't see the value. Like, I actually think the sculpted looks better, but I have to get this because it's limited, right? So like, and I've just canceled it. Like people are like, well, you could just sell it. No, I'm just going to cancel it and let somebody get a conversion on that one. So I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at. And people do have the choice of Artisan or not, but I was just wondering, like, was it just me maybe that had the misconception, in the beginning, and now I'm just kind of over it. Like maybe it just took some growing on my end as a collector to know what I want and what I don't want or what I don't need, and then I'm kind of going from there.
I think you have the simple fact that when we came into Artisan, Artisan's considered DX, right? And DX for many years has been considered limited in itself. Since I've been here, gosh, I think maybe we were up to DX 17. I think if I remember, no, maybe up to DX 19, which was Batman, right? So as of now, we've almost doubled the amount of DXs in that time period of time. And I think that's where it really comes into here, because like with Artisan, like for me at least, like it's got to hit. Like every character that you're putting out there has to be something I absolutely need to have. Like I got Moonlight. I just started getting into Moon Knight because of the show, right? And Oscar Isaac as an actor. I don't need an Artisan version of him right now. Like right. I don't even know if I need a second figure of him, And that's the thing here. Like you're rushing to put out an Artisan figure of a character that really is not that important to a lot of people, right? Loki, you can make the argument he's been around the MCU for a long time. He's worked it there. But even when they made Artisan Loki, they're not making the definitive Loki. They're making the one from the TV show. They're not making like Avengers 1 or Thor 1. They're not giving you a definitive like Loki for people. They're just giving you the most recent one. So in a lot of ways, Artisan, despite being limited, you're not limited for choice of Artisan selections, right? So when everything is Artisan this, Artisan that, eventually there's fatigue to it there, because eventually, one, you're either tired of the price ticket because you're paying $400 or $500 per figure, every figure now, and then on top of that too, you're not getting the experience that you're hoping to get. Premium this, premium that, diorama, anything you can think of, you would think to like validate the cost. You're not really getting. You're paying for a root job. Now let's talk about that here. That root job is about $150, That is actually very fair. That is very fair pricing. I have gotten things professionally done, and I paid a shit more ton than that to do it. But here's the thing. Everybody's upset about how these figures are coming out of box, the styling, why do I have to do it, etc. Well, you're doing it because you're getting a mass-produced copy of a rooted implantation. It's not a one-of-one. Like, I happen to be filming a John Wick review right now, so I have all my John Wicks in front of me back here. Take a look at this here. So this here is my John Wick 1.
Where'd you get that head sculpt?
So this head sculpt is actually the original John Wick 2 head sculpt. Actually, here, let me take him out of a post. I don't want to take him out of his post. Screw you guys.
Is that rooted?
Yeah, that's rooted, my man.
That's awesome.
See that? That's a slick back.
That is awesome.
John Wick rooted. This is hard, guys. This is not an easy thing to do. So this costs more than $150 to do. You can believe that for sure. But you know what? If you had Hot Toys do this themselves, it would never look like this, because the amount of work it takes to accomplish this is way more, which means it would cost you way more to get. So something like that is very hard to actually create here on a larger scale. 2,500, 3,000, whatever number they want to throw at you there. So at the end of the day, for $150, but you have to comb your own hair, it's not a bad proposition. It's not a bad proposition at all. If you're looking, because if you can get it looking right, as a matter of fact, you want me to show you? I actually showed Brick my Joker. You want to bring out my Joker real quick?
Sure, bring it out. Bring it out.
Yeah, you guys chitty chat for a second. I'm gonna show you.
All right, Adam, how you doing? You hanging in there?
Yeah, I think you know, it's the Brick made a good point. Is if you keep going back to the art, everything can't be Artisan, because then you dilute the brand. You need to have a more limited number of these. And I know, you know, was at the beginning of this year, end of last year, there was 1 week where they had 6 or 7 Artisans, and that's when they had the Iron Man, they had the Spider-Man, you know, they had some of the short-haired ones, plus Black Widow. Black Widow, I certainly can see.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Controversial Joker, right? Balding, oranging, all that stuff like that, right? This is mine. This is mine.
Yeah.
This
That's
is me.
dope.
This is water, guys. This is just nothing but water. I showed this on Brick Show there. A lot of futzing, a lot of patience. But this is what you can do with an Artisan if you put some time into it. Now, you guys have probably seen enough photos to know this is not how it looks like out of the box.
No,
and you guys can see, look, there's no balding, there's no orange. This is my copy that I made to look like this here.
And when you went Brick Show, you had Flavio took his was right out of the package, and it looked good. There was nothing wrong with it, but
nothing wrong with it.
When he did the head to head, the one that you have, you did some work to it. It definitely it looks better.
Right, it shows. It shows. So I mean, Artisan has potential, but you have to be willing to put in the work for it. You know, that's the bottom line. Like this Anakin here. Okay, so let's talk about the Anakin here since it's on the screen. This Anakin obviously is a downgrade. Let's just get that out of the way. That head sculpt that they showed us was a 12.
Yeah.
This is an 8. This is still an 8. Let's put that in perspective. Okay, now obviously there was a lot of anticipation for it there, and obviously a lot of people were let down by that head sculpt. Yes, I feel the same way too, but is it better than the original?
Mm-hmm.
Undoubtedly, yes. Undoubtedly, yes. So if you take the Artisan out of the way and this was sculpted, we would still be enamored by this new Anakin, right? But expectation and cost, come into play how you feel about these kinds of things here. Now, I still want this figure, despite its downgrade from proto to final. I still think it's a fine sculpt. I still think you put it in the right hands with the right person, it's going to look amazing. But this is the next level stuff, guys. This is where you go from being an everyday collector who just, you got your sculpted, you're happy with that there, and good for you, right? But if you're looking for that ultimate experience, that next level, you got to help it too. You got to do some of it yourself too. But if you do it, you can possibly get rewarded, and it can look outstanding. It can look amazing. You know,
You're so influential. DLO, you're so influential, man.
It's just, you know, it's just the thing. Like, this is, you know, we don't collect cheap shit, right? And I think everybody deserves to have a great experience with what they pay for. I think that's what everybody should be, you know, getting but you know, there's time to time we're all going to be disappointed with something, but we also got to put in perspective, like, the proto was a 12. It looked like freaking Hayden Christensen took that photo. Honest to gosh, that was probably the best looking head sculpt I've ever seen in all my years of doing this here. So for it to go from a 12 to an 8, initially, yeah, super disappointed. I'm not gonna lie with you. I was more upset about the head sculpt than I was the hair. But having time to kind of just like take it all in, an 8 is still a good number.
Yeah. And I think we'll get our final, I think we'll get our best look when Adam gets his in and he does his review. That's when we're going to be able to really tell.
My amateur hour review. Yep.
with the artisan line. End of the day, I don't think it's going anywhere. I just think maybe expectations need to change just a little bit from maybe at least what I thought in the beginning to what I think now. And I think I have already. Like, I only have one on pre-order, and that's Black Widow. So how many do you guys have on pre-order? How many Artisan figures?
None for me.
None? But you're getting Anakin.
Anakin's coming this weekend.
DLO, you don't... Well, you kind of had the pre-order of the Artisans. So how many
I still have them. Where I'm at. So I've got... Joker wasn't pre-order. It came available. I snatched it up. So I got Joker here. Still waiting on Jack. Wanda got delayed too, so that's 2 right there. I've got Loki, I've got Widow, I've got Winter Soldier. Jeez. And obviously I'm trying to get this Anakin over here. So potentially 6. 6 going at 7. Yeah.
I may get that Loki, but I'll probably just get the sculpted.
I thought about canceling mine, but I think I'm going to keep it.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about canceling Black Widow for a minute, but I think I'm going to keep that one. I actually just like Endgame.
I think honestly, well, the thing is, like, I feel like I'm looking at my Marvel collection and it looks like it's aging, you know, pretty rapidly. Like, a lot of those figures just don't hold up like they used to. And I feel like if I put in these Artisan ones, it would really pick up like, a notch. Yeah, pick it up a notch on the Marvel side of my collection, because everything else, DC is fairly new now with the whole Dark Knight revision. Star Wars has been pumping out stuff and hasn't stopped. Yeah. You know, but I think my Marvel is falling behind. I think the Artisan stuff is going to really make it pop again. So I think I'm going to keep my stuff.
Very nice. Very nice. Man, good conversations tonight. A lot of fun. Adam, enjoyed having you on the show tonight. I think we're going to call it a night because it is getting late. And I know you boys are on the East Coast, so we all got to go to work tomorrow. DLO gets to sleep in, but I don't think Adam gets to sleep in as late. So, Adam, thank you so much for being the guest. You've always been a Wolfpack guy, but now you are official. Welcome to the club. Too sweet to you, my friend. Thank you for being here. If you want to just plug your channel, anything you got coming up, I know Anakin's kind of that hot topic. Go ahead.
Well, first, it was been a pleasure, DLO, Graham, and Brick earlier. Brick, I've streamed with a number of times, but first time streaming with both of you, so it's a real pleasure. And I want to thank you because I was telling you before, when I started in the hobby, I was watching your videos, and they educated me so much about Hot Toys and 1/6 figure collection. So to be out here, it's a dream come true, and I really appreciate it. I have a lot of fun. My daughter and I, we do unboxings, and I give her all the credit because it's just a fun thing that her and I started doing these, getting on YouTube. She was the one who got me on YouTube because, she is into Minecraft and all these different fan fiction things. So she kind of turned me on to YouTube, and her and I started this channel to just have some fun and bond together. And why don't we unbox videos and we do these amateur hour unboxings? Like, we have fun doing the videos, but they're not the best production values. Okay, so if you want good production values, go to watch the videos of these two guys right here. Okay,
I love your banter on there though. It's just funny.
Yeah, it's just natural, and what the figure looks like if you're just opening it up on your kitchen table. We do it on the island in our kitchen, and what it looks like right out the rip. No fancy poses or anything like that, because to get that stuff, you're gonna watch your videos. You're gonna watch, some of the other YouTubers' videos who do an awesome job. So we just filmed right before your show the Deadpool. I'm gonna edit that as soon as I'm not gonna go to bed just yet. I just had my Dunkin' coffee, and I'm ready to go. I'm gonna edit the video, post that either late tonight or tomorrow morning, and then as you said, we got that Anakin coming in, so some good stuff. And then Friday night I'll be on Gio's 50th show,
Wow.
as part of the Canon Council, the movie canon. So catch me there.
Awesome, man. DLO, what's up your sleeve? You've been promising a lot of things. I'd like to see some of it come to fruition.
Ouch! Way to call me out, buddy. Yeah. Sorry, not all of us do this for a living. You heard how many artisans I have on pre-order. I got to work.
Yeah, you do.
But yeah, no, honestly, I wasn't expecting to be on the show today. I was actually supposed to be off tonight, but last minute changes, I was able to make it on. So I haven't touched my videos here. Like I said, I'm filming my John Wick one. It's almost done over here, but that's coming up real soon. So when I get a little bit of time, I'll post that up there real quick. And yeah, I mean, as far as other things besides that, I got a couple other videos that in the pipeline as well too. But you can check me out on DLO The Collector on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So I'm always more active on Instagram than anything else. So if you want to know what I'm doing next, I would definitely follow me on there first.
Man, I really enjoyed that John Wick figure. So I hope you're enjoying it as much as I did.
I am.
It was really refreshing to get that figure.
So I'll give you guys a little preview over here. So you already saw my Artisan John Wick that I have here, right? So here's... Oh, well, I got to put that back on. Almost dropped the gun. So here's my other John Wick over here.
Nice.
So you see, I'm rocking the Matrix head sculpt.
Yeah, I thought about doing that, like kit bashing one, but I don't know if I need to.
Yeah, I'm trying to do like a pose session with this one over here because John Wick, he has all these like martial arts and like gun stances over here. So I have the new one over here. He's just chilling. So work in progress over here. So, but yeah, I'm playing around. I'm having a good time with this one over here because I don't always do pose sessions unless I'm in the mood. Mm-hmm. John Wick, I'm in the mood for pose sessions. So stay tuned. It's almost wrapped up.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that. For my channel, I just did Spider-Punk as well. So I got that edited. It's up for channel members right now. General audience will be able to see that Friday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern. So you can wake up and check that one out. And then next week, I might have Miles G. Morales to review. And then I got some other content. I like to get back to the other content that Adam was talking about too. Like just more about me as a collector or tips. Like I kind of want to do like my favorite places to buy figures from. And then I also want to do like my top 5 figures least likely to sell, because again, you guys know I love to use my collection to fund my collection as much as I can anyway. So I'm looking forward to doing those videos and just getting a little bit of different content out as well. But yeah, lots of reviews incoming. I did just close the poll too. Just thoughts on Artisan. 54% said I'll pick and choose, 25% said love it, and 20% said not for me. So it's a pretty good split. I mean, only 24 votes, but not too bad. Again, like these guys said, it's not made for everyone, so it's okay. We don't all have to agree. It's like politics. It's like religion. It's anything in life. We can all be friends and not agree on certain things. We all still love the hobby. So hopefully, I know some people talked about it in the chat, but hopefully there's no gatekeeping around these parts. Keep that for the toxic areas of Facebook. But
we all agree to be boring hobby. Let's admit it.
Right. But no, man, Adam, thank you so much again for taking the time to hang out with us. Of course, you're always welcome back. I appreciate everything you've done for the channel, just supporting it, commenting on videos, being a channel member and all that stuff too. So I owe you a great many thanks as well. hopefully we can do this again soon. And I look forward to seeing you around on on Geo's channel, but then also your reviews that you're coming out with too. So hopefully we all have a great end of the week so that we can go into next week, episode 95. And yeah, hopefully get some good announcements, some releases. We'll see if I have Ahsoka by then, and we'll go from there. So, all right. Hey, too sweet, you guys.
Too sweet, guys.
Happy Wolfpack Wednesday. It's been a blast. We are out. Good night.